Hey man, it's Kevin Smith.
Hey, this is Jay Music.
Hey, I'm Scott Snyder.
I'm Cena Grace.
And you're listening
to the Absolute Geek.
The Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek Podcast.
Check it out, Snoogans.
Friday night in Phoenix. You're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast.
Thank you, Darts. It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast. I am Matt.
I quit karate for Winnie Cooper.
I'm Brian.
And tonight with us, we got a full house of comic exposure. Not only is Travis back for round 2, because he couldn't get enough of it last week, but we also have his partner in crime at Comic Exposure, Josh from Comic Exposure. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us, guys. Welcome to the Comic Exposure Podcast. My name is Travis Ratz, and with me, as always, my co-host, Josh Buck. Oh, I'm sorry. I backed up there for a second. I forgot what was going on.
Just taking over.
Yeah, thanks for having me back, guys.
Yeah, guys, I'm excited to be on this is my first time on the show. I'm excited about it. I've got beard envy from Brian. I'm going to just admit right now, his doesn't have as much gray as mine, and it makes me feel
it's getting there.
It makes me feel old, man. That's what it is right now.
Just for men.
Yeah, I dye it.
Just
for men.
I've thought about it. I'm not going to lie. I've thought about it.
I tell people all the time that I see people that are like early graying and stuff, and they hate it, and I go, if I could change, I would love to have just pure white hair.
You know, I'd like to say,
you'd look like the Witcher, buddy, and I'd toss you a coin. I'd toss you a coin. You're my
I
Witcher.
always thought it would be cool to have like just pure Santa Claus white hair at like 20.
But you need to cut it short and have it all frizzed out so you look like
Albert Einstein.
Wrong. Yeah, like you're crazy, like you're gonna talk about the aliens.
I want to do a study between THC and gray and see that's why Brian's not gray.
Yeah, it could be it, man. It could be it. I got to be honest. So you talk about the THC. So I am no longer have a 9 to 5, and because of that, yeah, I feel very, very, what's the word? Like I've been let out my box. Yeah, free. So I've been hitting the RSO pretty heavy. And man, I took too much RSO the other night, and it lasted till about 4 p.m. today. Just pure strength, like along many hours. So it was fun.
Travis and I have the most 9 to 5 job you can have. I think Travis and I are the most 9 to 5 people on earth.
Are you both teachers?
Yeah, we're both teachers. Yeah.
So are you both teachers?
I teach government. I'm a government teacher.
Oh, okay.
So fight the damn man. That's all I got to say. Fight
the
man.
So government in high school or
yeah. 12th grade.
Oh my God, man. I don't know if I could do that.
Sorry.
that's how you feel super old, right? Like,
I feel here's an example. Last year, so I am old. My daughter just started college, and last year she was a senior, and I said, guys, I got my daughter's senior pictures, and I feel so old. And one of my students goes, Mr. Buckley, you could just dye your beard. And I was like, I said, feel old. I didn't say look old. Jerk. But I guess,
Oh my God. Do they know you collect or you read comics?
My classroom is full of comic book posters. I have a shelf of Batman. I have a whole shelf of Batmen behind me in my classroom. So my nerd is on full display in my classroom.
Good.
Yeah.
You got to do that.
You got to. My room is essentially like a college dorm room, but I teach 12th grade government in it.
Well, I think we kind of talked about that last episode with Travis, where we were talking about good comic material to bring up in a classroom.
Oh yeah.
So what is your go-to?
So I taught American history, and when I taught American history, I used both Mouse, very, very good, Art Spiegelman, and I also used Barefoot Jen for World War II, which is a really good story about Japan and sort of the aftermath of Hiroshima, or is it Hiroshima? Travis, can you tell me, is it Hiroshima or Hiroshima? Hiroshima. So after Hiroshima, so it's essentially like, it looks like Speed Racer, but everybody's skin is falling off. So I used both of those when I taught American history. Those ones are perfect. Chef's kiss, great.
That's why I couldn't watch that show on Chernobyl.
I didn't watch it. I've heard it's gross.
Yeah, everybody was saying, "Oh, it's so amazing." I'm like, I don't want to watch people's skin fall off. That's okay. I'm cool.
Josh does one assignment when he was teaching econ, where like he has a class imagine that Godzilla attacked the city and what that would do to the economic structure of a city if Godzilla attacked. And I thought that was brilliant.
We watched the beginning of Godzilla 2000 where he destroys the city, and then we watch Mechagodzilla, and so we talk about what happens to the economy when Godzilla destroys it, and then what happens when the government spends a bunch of money to create a giant robot Godzilla to fight Godzilla.
See, here I am thinking that you like your students, and then you tell them you're showing them Godzilla 2000, and I gotta be like, what do you hate them? Like, what did they do? Is that like your terrible class, the trouble class? You show them Godzilla 2000.
Here's the
problem. If you guys don't shut up, we're watching Godzilla. Okay, Mr.
Give me a 1,000-word essay on how that's a lot of fish.
Here's the problem. Anything that has the word Toho in it, any movie, I stand Godzilla always. It doesn't matter. I'll even watch that shitty Matthew Broderick one. I will do it. It does not matter. If there's a giant lizard attacking a city, I am in.
You need that on a flag, man. I stand Godzilla always.
Yeah.
It is true.
Well, Corbin couldn't be with us tonight because,
he's Corbin.
Yeah, as Kyle says.
Because he's a busy guy, because he's fucking busy.
So he couldn't join us tonight.
Hey, man, I had to let you guys know about my buddy Christian Bale. He's a busy guy because he's busy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get a message the next day from college that says, I know him personally. And they're like, what? He's like, Christian Bale, I know him personally. That's how I know his schedule. And I was like, oh, all right, I got you. I understand.
What TV show were you talking about that was so good?
This Is Us.
Oh, okay. All right.
Is that the one where the dude? Is that the one where the guy died with the? Was it a crock pot?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I've never watched it, but I use a crock pot and it scares me now. I don't know anything about it, but I'm worried about a crock pot killing me because of
my
that
wife
show.
watches that show, and I go, "Oh, that's that stupid fucking show that Matt watches too."
Is it
where
like
crock
really
pots kill each other?
Right.
Is it like a Touched by the Angel type of tone? Is it like just good feelings and
Is it
warm
30
hugs?
something?
No.
Is it 30 something?
No.
Okay.
Is it like
Break it down, Matt. Tell us why it's good.
Matt,
I want to watch it.
Here I am, right here. Tell me
In
about
repose.
This Is Us. Tell me
30
about
something. Did you just bring up
this
30
crappy
something?
podcast?
Oh my god. I haven't thought about 30
brought up
something
30
in
something.
years.
That's
wow.
right. I was in my teens, I think, when 30 something was out. But right now, Matt, tell me about 30 something.
This Is Us.
I don't watch 30 something, so I don't know. I mean, This Is Us. It's a good show. It's a drama. It's well written. It's about.
Oh my god, you're doing it like your crappy fucking comic book review show.
Yes,
Well,
I am. You're right.
Will
I'm
it
just
bring me to
breaking it
tears,
down.
Matt?
It will. Yes.
Okay, I'm in.
Is it a
will.
slow burn character development type of thing?
It is not.
Okay.
How do you?
Is
want
it fast burn character development?
So, you just follow the lives of three siblings. That were two of them are twins, and the third one was adopted. Okay, Kyle. And
Are they fraternal or exact?
They're
What is it?
fraternal.
I don't know what it is. Is it fraternal or like? Do they look the same or not?
They're fraternal. They're not.
Okay. All right. So not as exciting. So it's like Danny DeVito. So Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger are in the TV show.
It's not that exciting. Not as exciting as Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But
I mean, nothing's more exciting than murderous crockpots.
yeah,
Right. And you know what? I love my crock pot, but I am scared to use it now.
but yeah,
It's
their
those
dad.
pressure cookers you got to watch out for.
Their
Those-
dad
one-
dies
one
in
of those
a
too.
their dad dies in a house fire due to a faulty crock pot that he wouldn't get rid of, and you just watch like how the events of that have pretty much fucked up their adulthood.
Wow.
So,
When did that happen in the show compared to where it is now?
I would say season 2 or season 3 it happened.
And what season are we on now?
4 or 5?
So
They
it
need to
takes
fucking get on with their lives and get over
it takes 2 seasons to learn that their father died via crockpot.
Well, you see a lot of their,
That sounds like a slow burn to me.
No, a lot of their stories playing out in the present where he's already dead, and then it also goes back to when they're kids, when he's alive, and so you kind of see both sides of everything.
What was after he dies from the crock pot? Did they eat like chili and just cry over it? They're like, oh, it's so good.
What was in the crock pot?
Jack's famous chili. And it was during they have a Super Bowl party, so I'm assuming it was chili.
Oh, that's so. You know what I like to make in my crock pot for a Super Bowl party? I like to make buffalo dip. Dip in my crock pot.
I think the worst way to die from crock pot is if you're just heating up and melting cheese. It's not even worth it. You know, chili at least.
So what's the best way? Like making meth?
Death by fondue is not okay. But I'm going to start
only
a band.
one cool way of dying from a crock pot, and that's making meth.
Yeah, no, you're right. You go out, go big or go home. Meth in a crock pot or nothing else.
That's called Walter White clam chowder.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like Travis.
So if you do it in a pressure cooker, is that a Unabomber brownie?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what that is.
Well done.
Can you make brownies in a crock pot?
I'm sure you brownies in a fucking microwave now. I'm sure you could do it in a crock pot.
Maybe not. Maybe
why would you want to slow cook brownies?
Not a crock pot, but what's the other thing? And an Instapot. In an Instapot,
yeah.
And an Instant Pot, you can make brownies. I'm sure.
Those are pretty awesome.
I've seen one where they have a fryer, a air fryer in them at the same time.
Yeah, there's one where you can get it's the whole thing combined.
Chad in the chat says you mean crackpot because I dated that bitch.
Those two, you got to watch out for those as well.
And I thought we peaked last week.
Right? Yeah. So, Kyle, I hear you have a little story that I've been waiting all day for you to tell me.
You know what? It's not going to beat a killer crockpot, so I don't know if I can tell it.
Killer crockpot.
Killer crockpot? That's Batman's worst foe.
Crazy quote.
He can't figure out how to put it on warm.
No, today on my way to work, I like to get bagels. Who doesn't like a bagel?
Where do you get your bagels from?
Einstein's.
Okay, all right, that's a good choice. Good choice.
So, I don't know if how familiar people are with Einstein's, but you go to one place to order and then you go to another place to pay.
Yeah.
So I walked up to the first place and I was like,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got to put Lance from Couch Crunchers in timeout for his terrible ass dad joke in the chat right there. Is this Geeks Who Eat Crockpot edition? Get out of here with your dad joke.
I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with that.
No, you're in timeout. Go ahead, Kyle.
So I was at Einstein. And the dude walks up to me. He goes, "I can take you down here." And I'm like, okay. So I walked to the first window, the second cashier thing. He's like, "Can I help you?" I said, "I'd like a dozen bagels and some schmear." He's like,
"Schmear? A schmear.
And you can go ahead and take one." I said, "No, I want to pick it." He's like, "Oh, you got to go back to the first window then." And I was like, "Okay." So I walked back to the first window and he walks up and goes, "May I help you, sir?" And I was like, "Okay, yes, I'd like a dozen bagels and schmear." And I picked them out and I go back to pay and I'm back to pay. And the guy turns around and there was a guy it was me, this lady, and then there was another fat guy. Except this other fat guy was shorter, about 20 years older than me, gray hair, wearing a plaid shirt with a blue vest to keep warm. And I'm wearing glasses. I'm taller and I'm fat. Brown hair, gray sweater.
No vest.
And no vest. And he walks up to the other fat guy and he goes, "Here's your bagels, sir." And the guy goes, he just sits there. And the guy goes, "Here's your bagels, sir." Guy's still standing there because they're not his fucking bagels. And then he gets a little bit snappier. "Here's your bagels, sir." And I said, "I think those are mine." And he looks at me, and then he looks at the other fat guy, and then he looks at me, and then he looks at the other fat guy, and then he looks at me again. I said, "They're still my bagels." And he super reluctantly hands them to me like I was lying. Like he really wanted to give them to the other fat guy in line. And I was like, this guy can't tell fat people apart.
You're like, I'm not wearing a vest.
I was like, you don't remember our conversation from 3 minutes ago that from the other side? But yeah, I just felt what it was like to be, you know, like where somebody says they can't really tell us apart.
Kyle, the most important question is, what kind of cream cheese did you get with your bagels?
It's exactly what I was thinking.
I just got the regular schmear.
Boo.
But I do get the fucking jalapeno and cheese bagels.
That's good.
Fuck. See, I can't do the only time I can do. God, what are we doing? We're talking about fucking bagels. Jesus. It's the only time I can eat non-sweet bagels.
This is my first time on this show, but there's a show we've got to do, right? Like I love bagel. I love Bagel the podcast. I really do.
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. The guy just can't tell fat guys apart. I don't know what it was. It
sounded like he was trying to be funny. And
meanwhile, the other fat guy is salivating at the
Right?
prospect of getting his bagels early.
He's trying to be funny all while fat shaming you.
But I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. That's just what was running through my head. I can't tell fat people apart.
You just got fat shamed.
The only two things that we had in common was we were both white and we were both fat. Other than that, there was nothing else that resembled each other.
Well, you all look the same. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey,
I
happy Martin Luther King Day weekend, guys.
Yeah.
Complaining about being fat and white.
Yeah.
Life has been too good to me.
You got to petition that to have fat white guy Friday fall on before Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday.
I was going to Yelp a review that said, guy at counter cannot tell fat people apart, and I was triggered and offended.
Yeah, next weekend's gonna be Fat White Guy weekend. We can make a Chris Farley cake. It'll be great.
We can
play Blues Travelers. Blues Travelers will be the soundtrack to that weekend. It'll be awesome.
I'm surprised you didn't take it to Twitter
Get
like you did with Jimmy
if you're in
John's.
Tintin.
I should have tweeted it.
Yeah, as I say, you didn't go on the full offensive like you did with Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's is supposed to upset you. That's just how that restaurant works. They have two sandwiches that are an Italian sandwich. One has mayo and one doesn't. Why do they got to fuck with you like that? I don't understand it. I ordered the one without mayo. If you give me the one with mayo, I'm going to be angry.
I'd like to say I have a mayo allergy.
Mayo is disgusting.
Oh, smart. That's smart, Brian. Yeah,
Mayo.
I always say you have an allergy.
Brian, mayo is disgusting.
It is disgusting. I agree. That's why I have a mayo allergy.
But the weirdest thing is, I don't mind Miracle Whip.
I fucking love Miracle Whip, dude.
Right? You know why?
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because it's got that rich, tangy zip.
Yes, sir.
I gotta hand it to one of our moderators in the chat. One of them finally figured out how to do their damn job, so that way when someone sends a message that has to be approved, I don't have to do it anymore. Someone finally just figured out how to do it on their own.
Matt, here's what I want to know. Why can't I can't see the comments. I'm a little upset. I can see our private chat. I can't see the live comments. I want to know what's going on.
You gotta watch
I have the chat running on my phone next to me.
What kind of show are you running here? And I can't see the live comments.
I do it a little bit more high tech than just doing it through StreamYard. So I go through another program. So I just watch.
You like to make shit hard.
I do.
What are you doing to me, guys?
I do.
It's my first time on the show. I just want to see the live comments.
God damn it, we're shitting the bed already.
I know.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Let's turn it around. Yeah, let's turn it around.
While we're doing that, I want to shout out to Jay for sending me the new Absolute Geek shirt.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Is that Robin from? It looks like Robin. It's very Robin-y.
It is.
Look under your seat. Look under your seat, Josh. You get a shirt, and you get a shirt, and you get a shirt,
and you get a shirt.
I've never been more happy about getting a shirt.
Everyone needs a shirt. So would anybody watch the rest of the Crisis crossover?
You know, I haven't watched a single episode of that, and I was actually looking forward to it, and it was just I couldn't force myself to go back to the CW for that shit show that is Arrow.
I'm glad that someone who's actually who runs the show hasn't watched it, because I didn't. The tweets make me want to watch it. I saw the guy from the shitty from actual DC movies and the Flash in the same picture, and I'm intrigued. I want to watch it,
but not enough to watch it.
I'm this close.
Do you have to have watched? I haven't watched the CW shows in like 2 or 3 years. Do you have to know what's going on to understand the crossover, or can it be like a separate thing and just enjoy, I guess, the spectacle of it? I mean, they can't be that complex, right?
To sound snobbish, if you're someone like us of our caliber and you know Crisis, you don't need to watch any of the shows to get it.
You got it,
because you know the events of Crisis. But
do they follow pretty close to the book?
Yeah, I mean, they make some changes, but I mean, I'm surprised that the spec market isn't all over it, seeing how they introduce the Justice Friends, they introduce Gleek, so that pretty much means the Wonder Twins are coming.
So let me tell you why the speculative market doesn't follow it, because TV spec is dead. TV spec has been dead for years, big time.
Matt, who's not a speculator, does not agree with you.
Well, it's because he's not a speculator.
That's right. I'm not a speculator.
Yeah. TV spec has been dead for a while.
So why don't you agree with that, Matt?
What?
He said, I don't know.
I said I didn't know.
Yeah,
what's the behind that statement? Why do they say that?
Dead? The reason why TV spec is dead is because everybody went goo goo gaga crazy for it, and it didn't pan out. Like, for example, and Matt will understand this because he was kind of, he was right front and center when me and Kyle went all in, and we had a little business. We were trying to sell books off the speculative market, and at the time, TV spec was the big, with movie spec was what was pushing the spec market, obviously, and for every TV show had something to do with comics, right? I mean, it was ridiculous. It was like
Preacher was coming out, and I remember I thought that was going to blow up. Yeah.
Preacher is a big reason, and that it happened. Preacher, Lucifer. Walking Dead.
We were talking about Outcast earlier.
Yeah, Outcast. I mean, all those came at that time. And if you remember, like, the only one that did well was Walking Dead. And
well, are you talking network TV or are you talking streaming stuff too? Because like
I'm talking all of it, even streaming stuff. Look at what Titans did. That didn't push any spec. You got more spec.
How much of that is that a lot of this stuff's been in movies already though? Like
no, it's
I know
not.
It did good for Umbrella Academy.
So let me tell you 100% what it is. 100% what it is the shows weren't good enough to push the spec. That's why Umbrella Academy spec went so good, is because the show was so good. Every other show was garbage that was on TV. Now, if you look at like the DC Universe, all those shows were excellent, but nobody watched them.
What's a DC Universe?
Like where Titans are, and
I know.
So Brian, is like so the quality of the shows affects TV speculation much more than movies. So does the movie not have to be good and then the spec is still high? Does the quality of a movie as opposed to a TV show affect it? So can you have a shitty movie but the speculation's still high? Does it affect movies the same way?
Did the new Hellboy push spec?
It did at first.
Really? Because that was a shitty movie.
Not as heavy as some of the other movies have pushed spec. But at first, the Hellboy stuff did push. I mean, you started seeing like the first appearance of who's that fish guy?
Abe Sapien.
Abe Sapien. You saw the first appearance of Abe Sapien go really high. You saw the first appearance of the bad person in the movie that chick played went really high. Yeah. You saw those go high, but it didn't last. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm asking as a guy who has like Manhattan Projects #1. Is that I want that to be a movie so I can make some money off of that.
See, that's exactly what happened. Is everybody said, I'm going to make money off this, so I'm going to go buy it. The same thing that happened in the 90s with the spec market on, we all know what killed comics in the 90s. It was the spec market, and they just continued to pump shit out. So at one point, every fucking Image #1, people were buying 10 copies of, and it totally killed the spec market.
Especially Image is because Image was producing a lot of stuff, but those
Image had a
low run indie comics are the ones that like Manhattan Project, even though I think it's Image, right? Josh?
Yeah, that was Image. You know what's crazy? Have you guys seen the market for 4 kids walk into a bank was insane.
That's a great one.
And it died.
It died. It like literally dropped. I have I have a couple of those. I have a couple of those issues, but I bought the like one-off, some other like the special ones. They're not worth anything right now.
Yeah, that's another thing that killed the spec market is that all those internet comic stores put out their own variants. And
yeah, that's what I mean. I have one of those variants that was for it. Like you gave $1 to some charity to buy the variant, and I was like, I like the charity. I'll give money to it. Plus, maybe I'll get some money back.
Exactly. And here's what's pushing the spec market now. It's back. And this is my opinion. I think that it's all going back to rarity. Look at what's like, it's all rarity. Look at the top 10 that came out today. The #1 book is being pushed by a movie, but it's because it's also rare. And that's I'm sure we're going to get into it. And that's the Morbius. Amazing Spider-Man 101.
Jared Leto as Jared Leto in Morbius.
Exactly.
Jared Leto is Jordan Catalana in Morbius.
Jared Leto does everything awesome.
What did you guys think about that trailer?
I thought it was awesome.
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan. Yeah.
I think it causes big problems for the MCU.
2 thumbs down.
I'm gonna hold on. I need to mute you. You.
Yeah,
no one can talk about my boy Jared Leto like that. He does.
But here's the thing. Here's my problem with the trailer for Morbius. It took until and I get it. It took to the very last second for me to get pig-nosed Jared Leto. That's all I wanted. I wanted the entire trailer for Jared Leto to have Morbius pig nose, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, it looked really dated. It looked like it should have come out when they were making the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man stuff, right?
Well,
I think
they took a poster from Spider-Man 2 and wrote murderer across it. So they're trying to connect it to the MCU, but they're using the wrong Spider-Man from the wrong Spider-Verse.
God damn it. Why are you using the wrong goddamn Spider-Man?
Well,
I think my biggest problem with it is I'm not upset about a Morbius movie, but here's my problem with the current.
Don't make me mute you.
Kyle, maybe you want to mute me, but here's my problem with it. I don't mind it, but what I don't need is an origin story. A Morbius would be a fantastic character in a Spider-Man movie or in any other MCU movie. Give me Morbius, but what I don't need is a whole movie telling me why he exists. I don't need it. Give me pig-nosed Morbius right away, and I'm in. But I don't need an origin story.
Or just maybe it wouldn't be horrible if they cut it down and it was very quick and kind of glanced over.
Yeah, for sure.
Just as a speed you up type of thing.
Right. I don't need a whole movie about it. I would love to see him as a villain in a movie, for sure. But we're on this weird stage right now.
It says Morbius across his forehead.
We're in this weird stage right now where every villain needs to have a movie.
Just
right?
says drink me across his head.
Right. We've got our Venom movie. We've got our Joker movie. We've got our Morbius.
Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Yeah.
Right. Just throw them in a movie and don't tell me about them. Just make them
kill them. Don't kill them. Yeah. That's another thing. I mean, we've said this a lot on the show. They kill their villains too much. You could do so much more with those villains. That's why comic book villains are so great, because they don't die. You can use them.
Travis and I have talked about give us a Kraven the Hunter, but make him the best fucking villain ever. And just if you want a Spider-Man movie, do the next 3 Spider-Man movies with Kraven in the background.
See, I think that's where they're going.
I hope so.
I really think that's where they're going, and I think that's why they showed you Vulture at the end of that trailer.
But you know what I don't want? I don't want a Kraven movie. I want Kraven in a Spider-Man movie, but I don't need a Kraven movie.
Rumor has it he's going to be a big figure in Spider-Man 3, and he's going to be hunting Peter Parker now that everyone knows his secret.
Matt, you just made me hard. I'm
glad I could do that for you.
Like that.
So yeah, I also thought there was a lot of laboratory stuff in this trailer.
Yeah.
I don't need another laboratory science, like that.
Yeah.
That was my least favorite part of the Venom movie is like all the lab stuff. We get it, lab stuff. All you need is one shot of a lab, and we get it. We understand what happens in a lab. Okay,
You don't need an hour of lab time.
You're
It
trying
happened
to
to the
cure.
lizard. It happened.
You're trying to cure something. Shit goes wrong. Cut to the point, right?
Yeah.
That trailer was a long trailer, and like 3/4 of it happened in a lab.
And then it makes it confusing because it makes you look like he just stands in front of a cave and gets hit with echo waves and becomes Morbius. Like he becomes a vampire.
Yeah, I don't know how he became a vampire.
Echo waves is a hard phrase for an actor to say without laughing.
Echo Wave is a sweet name for a prog metal band. Echo Wave.
Yeah. I think it was a Smith
Introducing
side
next,
project.
Echo Waves.
Sounds like the name of a ASMR podcast.
Matt, what do you think about the trailer?
Jared
Matt,
Leto song.
What did you think about the trailer, Matt?
I mean, I'm okay. I liked it for the most part. I thought there was a little bit confusion. I thought there was a lot of lab stuff, but I think, like I said, I think it's going to cause issues for the MCU timelines and the MCU going forward. But I think that it's going to make a ton of money just because people are going to want to see. They were genius for doing it. Not just that, but it's going to make a ton of money because people are going to want to see why the Vulture's there and how it connects to Spider-Man. So,
Oh, for sure. And I think the biggest thing is like the weirdest thing about this Sony Disney thing, right? Is like what actually, like they said that it's in the MCU, but I wasn't clear if Venom was, right? But they've come out and said that this is in the MCU, and I go like, but is it?
Yeah, it didn't look like it.
The only part that shows me that it connects to the MCU is you see Vulture at the end, and then the wanted poster with murderer on it, but it's not even the right
I don't think
Spider-Man.
that was a poster. I think that was painted on the wall.
Okay, painted on the wall with murderer over it, but it's not even the right Spider-Man.
Wanted
So-
$1,000.
Yep.
I don't need it
Live
to
or
be in the
dead.
MCU.
Old time-
I don't need it
Alive
to
or
be in
dead.
the MCU. Yeah.
I do, and well, Venom 1 wasn't in the MCU, but there's a lot of speculation and rumor going around that was part of the deal for Marvel to get the rights back from one more Spider-Man movie, is that Sony brings over, they let Sony bring over Venom too. So,
God, what a worse way to make a creative decision than bring business into it, right?
You know, I was surprised that I liked Venom because I didn't think I was gonna like it. I'm gonna be honest right now.
It was dog shit.
But
I don't like it either.
Venom is my least. Here's my biggest deal. I hate Venom and Carnage, right? Those are two sacrilegious things to say as a comic book fan, but I hate
pissed
Venom.
off every Spider-Man fan. Listen to
Exactly.
He said it.
I will say it outright. I hate villains that are just a mirror of the other character. So I hate Sinestro. I hate Venom. I hate Carnage. It's just not my thing. But I watched the movie. My wife and I watched it. And I was like, oh, that's way better than I thought it was going to be. But he's not. I don't see him in the MCU. I just don't see.
Because he's not a mirror in the Venom movie. There's no Spider-Man, so he's not mirroring a hero.
Right.
It's
That's
all
the
internal
weirdest part
conflict.
about it.
Yeah.
I can do the whole Venom movie right now. I'm just going to get a sweaty hoodie on and I'm going to walk around.
And you're gonna, and you know what? You're gonna be as sexy as hell, Kyle. That's
I was just about to say, dude, don't try to fucking mess up my man crush on fucking that dude, because that dude is fucking sexy
no.
as hell.
Look.
No one's gonna
My man
confuse your
crush on
bagel
that
order.
dude whose name I can't remember right now, and it's
You-
totally not
As
Tom
I'm
Hardy.
rolling said toxins that made me not remember. that
I
name.
will talk like Bane right now. If you need me to talk like Bane, I will do it for you, Brian. If you need me to go, hey, Brian, I'm glad that
No,
you're doing
not
that right now.
Go ahead and smash that
That's
mute
too-
button, Kyle.
Yeah, that's too clear. You gotta put the hand over the mouth and go full on.
And did you guys? You
Yeah,
guys
muted.
watch? You guys watch Peaky
muted?
Blinders?
Oh man,
All right, you can do it now.
Did you guys watch
Right.
Peaky Blinders?
what are you up to?
You sound like
So I sound exactly like Bane. You shut your mouth.
the
fire rises.
hardcore band.
The fire rises, Brian.
You got to do your Echo Wave prog band vocals.
Ah,
What did you say, Brian? You asked a question.
Have you guys seen the fifth season of Peaky Blinders?
Yes.
What'd you think?
There's 5 seasons?
Yeah.
They
Dude,
get
that
shorter
show's
and
my
shorter,
favorite
I feel
show,
like.
bro.
Yeah, it's
That
really good
show
show.
is killer.
I watched
Yeah.
2 episodes of season 1. They're on season 5?
Bro, you have to watch that show.
Yeah.
You already
I
have
do-
a man crush on
I do love
Tom
that
Hardy.
guy. Not Tom Hardy. Who's the guy who's in it? It's the other
Gillian
guy.
Murphy.
Yeah, he's my other man crush, man. That dude is a fucking badass.
He's a
Dude,
handsome
he's
guy.
got
I'm not gonna lie.
He's got
He's a
heroin face.
hamster.
He's got heroin face. Yes, he does.
He does. But there's something hot about heroin face. I'm just gonna
It's
say
heroin
I
chic. Heroin chic.
just said it on the air. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say.
Well, that's why it makes the show even better because he uses heroin in the show. So
But
I'm all for it.
Heroin
Peaky Blinders is a weird name, right?
What?
Peaky Blinders doesn't sell the show.
No, it doesn't. Not the name.
No.
I like it. I think it's spunky and dark at the same time.
Travis, shut up.
It almost sounds like it should be a show about a burlesque house. Peaky
Right, you
Blinders.
are right, Matt. High
Yeah.
five right here. Air five, high five. Boom. Yes.
Virtual 5. Virtual 5.
But
It's a great show, though.
sticking with
And-
trailers, did you watch the next trailer or the third trailer? I want to say for Black Widow.
No, I didn't.
You get
I
your first look at Taskmaster.
I am 100% in on Black Widow.
So is it female Taskmaster?
No, but the mask is still super shitty.
I've heard that maybe Taskmaster is Black Widow, which doesn't make any sense.
Ooh.
I've also heard
Interesting.
Taskmaster is going to be Clint Barton, which doesn't make sense.
Boo!
Yeah, that would be terrible. God, that would be terrible.
They're wasting such a good potential bad guy on this movie.
Yes, they are. Big time.
I hope they don't kill Taskmaster and he gets to go somewhere else.
But
Well-
here's my question, guys. Here's my question for you. What do you do if this movie is a giant success?
We say we were wrong.
No, but like that's what like
You put another notch on the belt that is Marvel cinema.
but like you've killed Black Widow. If this movie is bonsai blockbuster, what do you do?
I think they're gonna undo it. It's gonna be. I think Scarlet Witch undoes it, or it
You-
gets
you're right.
or it gets undone in Doctor Strange.
Well, that's why they're bringing Yelena or whatever her name is on there.
That's what I've heard is like what's her name will end up being, but no, I mean like if you want why can't I remember her name right
Scarlett
now?
Johansson.
Yeah, if you
She's
want
burnt. That's why. She's burnt.
if you want
She's
Scarlett
burned.
Johansson back, if you want Scarlett Johansson back,
She's
and you
1-5.
if you want Scarlett Johansson back, how do you fix this?
They don't
Well,
want her back. That's why they're doing, because they realize, just like I do, that she's fucking burnt, and they want a younger, hotter Black Widow. That's what the whole point of this is. I mean, they
I
cannot.
don't think the other one's better. I don't think she's better.
I feel like Lance has got to be going crazy in the chat right now.
I will fight you,
Lance
Brian.
doesn't count.
I will fight you, Brian. She's not better.
She's burnt, bro. She's like, and this is not me saying like I think I could get a better looking chick. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But she's not as hot as she used to be. She's not. And they need to move on. Like that is one of the reasons why. Okay, so here's a funny example. And I'm really reaching here, but I was listening to a story that this lady was telling about the actress that got Bart Simpson's voice role, right? Right? And so they were originally going to cast a 12-year-old boy for Bart Simpson. And this actress went into to audition for Maggie, or not Maggie, Lisa. And she saw these kids doing their little practices for Bart, and she went, God, they're stupid. These kids are going to grow up in 2 years. And if they plan on having a show longer than 2 years, right? So that's kind of like her thing. She says, I won't grow up. I will always have this voice. Fucking Black Widow's getting old.
No, you're right. It's the same reason
They made Samuel L. Jackson look younger.
Yeah, but he's not a chick. A chick's got to look good looking. She's got to look good in
But
movies.
here's the thing.
That
I
is
think
sexist, Brian.
I love his
Yes,
hand.
it is.
That is
It's got to
sexist,
look
Brian.
good looking.
I think you could do. I think you could do 2 Black Widow movies with Scarlett Johansson and make it work. I think you could.
Yeah,
I
you mean
think
you have
she-
2 Black Widows?
I think she's gotten better from Was it Iron Man 2 she's in?
Mhm.
she's gotten like astronomically better than from Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for this movie. I don't know what you all think, but I am stoked for Black Widow. I think it's going to be great.
I'm on the
I
fence.
think it's going to be a fun movie. It looks like it's going to be much more fun than we ever thought.
It's going to be James Bond with fucking Scarlett Johansson and the dude from
Dave Arbor.
Stranger Things.
He needs Dave Arbor needs to like redeem himself after that Hellboy movie. So
Hellboy was
bad.
totally
It
gonna
was
redeem
bad.
himself.
Yeah.
He looks hilarious in this. It's a perfect casting for him. Here's
All
the
I
other
wanted was Hellboy to be good, and it was bad.
It was bad.
Tim says in the chat, this episode is revealing quite a lot about Brian. He has a crush on Tom Hardy and thinks Scarlett Johansson is burnt.
it also reveals a lot about Tim.
Brian,
got a crush
I'm
on
with
Scarlett
you.
Johansson.
Brian,
He thinks Tom Hardy's burnt.
Tim says, I think you have some internal conflictions to deal with, sir.
Tom Hardy. I've got a Hardy on for Tom.
Yes, yes. I'm very okay with my sexuality enough to say that Tom Hardy is a very
The only guy who can get
Man.
away with being in a movie for 2
I
hours,
think
sweaty in a
you guys just need to
sweatshirt.
make a
God
fan
damn
club
it.
called the Hardy's Boys.
I am
nailed
a Hardy's
it.
boy.
Ding ding.
Hardy's Boys.
Delete. I am a Hardy's
I'm more of a boxcar kid.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But I think it's gonna be good. I think I'm interested in for just Taskmaster, but I'm
Yeah.
still worried about how bad he looks as far as the mask.
It's a weird mask. I don't like it.
okay. So I got another one for you. I just finished Witcher. Have you guys seen all of Witcher yet?
No.
I
Yes,
stopped
I
after
watched.
episode 1.
Me too.
It is fucking awesome after episode 3.
It gets much better. It gets better. You're right.
As soon as that chick becomes not like, even when she's kind of horrid looking, she's still kind of hot with those eyes.
Yeah.
But
She doesn't look
soon
burnt?
As she didn't look too burnt. She has these beautiful eyes. But anyways, once they make her look really hot and then they show her boobs a lot, I mean, it gets a lot better. And I'm not just redeeming myself because Tim said I was gay. I'm not gay.
I'm gonna take a different tack than Brian.
You need to whip your hair back when you say that.
I'm not gay.
Do your finger like this.
It gets better once you understand the
Don't touch my
timeline.
food.
Once you understand the
Drop my
timeline,
bread.
it gets much better.
Is the tone of the show get better? Because at some time
No.
it jumps in and okay.
It doesn't. So the tone of the show is very much Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Game of Thrones. That's what the show is, and you just have to like be okay with how Buffy it is, because that's what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. And
I liked it.
You're exactly right, Josh. As soon as you get past the timeline, fucking weird shit.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where they make a comment and you go, hold on. Did I just catch that? And you kind of start putting 1 and 2 together and everything kind of works. And then you go, oh, that was really good. I really like it. And I like how they kind of do like the Xena Warrior Princess episodic stuff where they have to go defeat
It's very
a cat.
fucking Xena. It's
It's
very
very
Xena.
Yeah.
It's like, so if I could explain Witcher, it's Xena the Warrior Princess meets Game of Thrones meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yep. It's good. I like it. I'll be.
He's got a
interested.
bard, right? I saw like the first second episode. He had a
Look,
bard.
the Bard is at the same time very terrible and very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, half the time you're like, "What the fuck is he in here for?" And then you realize that he's just a MacGuffin. So
Yeah.
Chad says, and we just lost the LGBTQ audience and the female audience in one swoop.
I am both into The Witcher and into Tom Hardy. So come back.
yeah,
I guess my biggest problem with The Witcher is that is it Cavill?
Cavill.
Cavill. Henry Cavill is not a good actor.
but you know what? I agree with you on for a lot of that. But this was perfect for him because he didn't have to be a good actor. All he had to do
you're
was
right.
like a pissed off, brooding Witcher. You know?
You're right. He just doesn't emote very well.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a good thing that the Witcher does not have emotions.
Yes. Exactly.
But I'm going to freely admit right now, I had a little bit of insomnia over over the Christmas holiday, and I watched most of it between the hours of 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning. I will freely admit that.
So was it kind of in a daze?
Yeah,
It was, but I liked it. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it, but it was between the hours of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. So I don't know.
I will agree with Michael Stout that Letterkenny is up there. And the reason why Letterkenny is so far up there is because of where they started. So it kind of gives people like us hope.
I love Letterkenny. Letterkenny is a fantastic show. If you're not watching,
You never know.
yet,
You might somebody might put your stuff out there somewhere and it takes off.
Now I'm going to have to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. It's on. I keep seeing it on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet.
Letterkenny's on Hulu.
It's this generation
Yeah.
version of the Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah,
Is it Canadian?
it is.
Okay, I'm in. I love Canada. As a man who grew up in Michigan, I love Canada.
Oh,
Canada is
I
a
grew up
great
in Michigan
place.
too.
Where from, man?
Roseville, and then I moved up to Manistee.
Did you guys just become best friends?
We did.
I'm from the Nasty. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm from Sag Nasty.
Oh, Saginaw.
Yeah, Saginaw and Merrill, Michigan, man. That's where it's at.
I don't like this. It's splitting our podcast apart, guys. We need you guys to be
Slowly back away from the mic.
I will drive to Manistee and I will hunt some carp and we'll be good to go.
There you go.
Well, guess what? Kyle and Brian and I are friends, just as good as you and Matt.
Yeah.
Right, Brian. Right, Kyle.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's burned.
We would invite you to do karate with us, Kyle, but we all know you can't
I
because
want to go to karate because it was on the same night as Wonder Years, so I can watch Winnie Cooper. I quit karate for fucking Winnie Cooper.
so you quit karate, so you can't do it in the garage with us.
I'm just gonna my whole manhood is based on Winnie Cooper. So
That was a clip. But we're gonna take out the Winnie Cooper's pot and we're gonna put something in there we were gonna use.
My whole
manhood is based on Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy 1.
Clip that.
Winnie Cooper number 2.
But yeah,
You know what?
Letterkenny
Right
is
now-
fantastic.
Like math to kids, Cooper can teach me math forever. Ever.
Jay wants to know what Letterkenny's about. What's Letterkenny about, Brian?
About Podunk, Canada.
Yes, it started as a web show and now it took off, and it's kind of like small town people's problems, and you have the jocks, the skids, and then the hicks.
The dry delivery is what makes it. Just
Yes.
that dry in the Canadian hick accent.
Yeah.
And the jokes. If you want to know what if you want to know if you're really into the show, the one clip to watch is look up Letterkenny butt stuff or Letterkenny baseball, and it's where one of the characters is talking about going on a date and the girl doing something to his butthole, and that whole skit is just fantastic.
I've only
It's
watched the
basically Trailer
earlier
Park.
episodes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that was like episode 2 of season 1 is what that clip's from. But it's a fantastic
It's
show.
that rapid fire, dry, burn after burn after burn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good
But,
stuff.
We should have Matt do the Letterkenny review.
Yeah. A show I'm really all about right now is The Outsider, based on the Stephen King novel. On
I haven't
HBO.
watched that yet.
What's that on?
HBO.
Okay.
It looks fantastic.
I started watching the first episode and I was like glued to my seat. I was like, good God, if you like True Detective, it's very, very True Detective-esque, but better. It just you want to know what's going on in the show, because every time you're like, all right, I'm starting to get it, they throw something else at you and you're like, this is insane. Like I binge watched the first 2 episodies glued to my chair.
Oh.
So
2 whole
Yeah, and
hours.
Stephen King properties are notorious for under delivering, so it's nice to know that one's working.
yeah.
Like The Stand.
Have you guys watched?
Or
Did you guys watch the trailer for Lock and Key?
I have
No,
watched
not
the
yet.
Lock and Key trailer yet.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for that one though.
I like that series.
That's a
And
big
then-
spec book right now. It's been a spec
Oh,
book
yeah.
for a while, but people are finally able to sell off all the, like you were talking about with, was it Manhattan Projects? Is that what you were talking about?
Always.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people do the same thing with Lock and Key, where they just put they bought Lock and Key because they thought it was going to be the next saga or, Walking Dead or whatever.
Have any of you read Joe Hill's new horror run label?
I've heard good stuff about it, but I haven't read it yet.
I think he's a fantastic writer. I just haven't picked any of them up.
I think he's writing another comic about a stand-up comedian.
The Joker.
That's what I was about to say. That one is not really funny, and it's a character-driven slow burn.
No, it's like A Good Time to Die, I think it's called something. I've read the first issue. Like he's a retired detective, and his material is based around his job as a homicide detective, and like making jokes about people's dead relatives and dead bodies and stuff like that. It's very, very dark. I believe he's writing it, but I've heard good things about his horror stuff.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever thought about is the idea of doing stand up terrifying? I'm sure everyone is.
We do it every week.
Dude, I look at stand-up comedians. I have the most respect for stand-up comedians because they have to get up and get shit on night after night after night and just get totally. I mean, they get fucking just torn down constantly.
Look, I'm totally into someone shitting on me every night.
Is that how your manhood? Yeah.
Tom Hardy? I think about shit on me
because you need like 5 minutes, right?
That's another clip.
A solid 5.
Solid five. And so sometimes I'll sit around and think about what would be my main. I haven't come up with anything. What would be my main bit?
You talk about how 5 minutes. You talk about how you're wearing a Kurt
easy,
Cobain
Josh. Easy, Josh. I knew you're going there. I knew you're going
about how
there.
you're wearing a Kurt Cobain sweater right now, and you have a My Pet Monster behind you. What's your T-shirt?
One milk, one lax. Steve Martin.
Oh my God.
Oh, even worse.
Oh, it's perfect.
Early Steve Martin with the arrow in his head style.
Sweater vest, Steve Martin, and a My Pet Monster behind you.
It's a hoodie, motherfucker. Back the fuck up, Josh. We're making this.
I can't zoom in on you, but there it is right now. It's a hoodie.
I think I'm just happy.
Any royalty.
What did Joe Hill have to do with Sandman? Did he do something with Sandman?
Is he writing the new version of it? Look, it pays to be Stephen King's son,
right? Yeah,
he's good. He's talented.
He's throwing that funny.
No,
joke.
I'm not saying he's not talented, but
isn't that guy do stuff with Stephen King?
I could be talented, but I'm not Stephen King's son.
Yeah,
right. Imagine living in this house. You get writing lessons every day.
Stephen King's son opens a lot of fucking doors.
You go to his comicsology web page for Joe Hill, and it's got this little picture of him on a motorcycle, and it's totally Stephen King goofy, and you're like, dude,
Stephen King.
How the hell did you not look at goofy pictures of your dad trying to be on a motorcycle?
That's how he gets into everything. He just has a picture of his dad in his breast pocket, and he's like, "Do you know who I am?" and just holds up the picture.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I'm not gonna lie, he's still good though.
Yeah,
he's not he's talented. He's not just resting on his dad's coattails. He probably gets a little bit from his dad's coattails, but he's still good.
A lot of people don't realize that Lock and Key is about all the doors being Stephen King's son opened up. That's what the Lock and Key comes from. Yeah,
they all lead to
that's a fun fact for your
Stephen
podcast.
King universes.
Look, Stephen King.
Langoliers.
Stephen King writes a really good first 3/4 of a book.
Yeah. Did anyone see the Shining, the quote unquote Shining sequel movie?
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah,
it's going to be on HBO. It's not a movie, isn't it? A series?
No, they made it a movie. Yeah, it already came out in theaters.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, Ewan
it didn't do well,
isn't he?
Shut your mouth! Isn't it a series on HBO?
They're turning it into a series, but it was a movie first. Yeah,
but it's Arrested Development as Dr. Sleep, right?
I think it's something different.
Yeah, The Outsiders. The Outsiders.
The Outsiders is on HBO. I was talking about that while you were. While you left.
Rubbing one out the Tom Hardy.
I had to pee.
He had to go quick attend the meeting of the Hardy Boys Club.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
Hardy
Josh and
Hon on Tom Club.
Josh and I's
Hardy's voice.
podcasts are like an hour long, so we don't have the bladder endurance that you guys have on the Absolute Geek
yeah,
Podcast.
I don't know what's going on with the show. We haven't talked about anything specific yet,
Josh just
but I did. I don't know what to tell you.
That's what we do. We're not formulaic here. We're just here to have a good time.
Look, there's 5 guys fight 5 white men talking about comic
Oh,
books.
this is rough territory, Josh. Tread lightly.
You're on thin ice, buddy. You're on thin ice.
Look, here's what
Nothing
I know.
good that starts with. So we got 5 white men.
Here's what I know.
These torches.
My opinion is probably exactly the same as everybody else's.
Yeah.
Find the most. What's our most controversial story that we have coming up to talk about? Let's see if we can differ our opinions.
Birds of prey.
Well, let's talk about the main topic for the title of the episode, and that's
It's the meat potatoes.
Yeah, not really, but that's that Burt Ward got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he came out and admitted that when he was playing Robin, ABC made him take dick shrinking pills because
Here's what
someone complained about the size of his bulge and the
What are
Robin
dick
costume.
shrinking pills?
That's what I want to
what
know.
are dick shrinking?
That's what I want to know.
Because I need to know what I need to say I take.
I gotta steer clear of those bad boys. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
I think most
I take
people
a lot
already
of
take those pills.
Yeah.
I accidentally thought that they were the Vicodin or something, or Viagra or something.
Yeah,
You're,
they're called Angela Lansbury's. You pop them a couple of days.
Your excuse of it's cold or I was in the pool doesn't cut it anymore.
I mean, I never heard of small penis pills.
I got
Right.
a ton of them. You want some?
I want to know what pharmaceutical company is like, you know what we got to do, guys? We got to make pills that make your penis smaller.
Says
we need
no
we need
man
a
that's trying to
spokesperson.
create a pill ever.
Yeah.
I've never watched look,
That's
I
why
am
I call bullshit on that.
I am a true Batman 66 fan. Never at any point did I look at the bulge of Robin and say that's too big.
No, because you're too busy making jokes about how close Batman was behind him, and
Look,
Well, wasn't that a joke about Adam West too? Like, didn't they joke about that on the show too? So, like, did they give it to Adam West too?
I probably here's the thing, and I watch Don't Speak Ill of early Batman.
I'm gonna Google small penis pills and see what comes up.
I'm already on it, bud.
You already doing it?
Yeah.
Big Brother is on you right now, Googling small penis pills.
And every ad on your Google is now going to be for those.
Small.
All I get is stuff that says, "Does penis enlargement work?" Penis enlargement. 21 men who tried to enlarge their penises.
Here's what I
When
want.
does the penis
Vice
stop
has
growing?
got you. Which drug makes your dick shrink the most and why? And their
Ron
tagline
Jeremy
is
reviews.
their tagline is you're only as good as it's your last or your strongest erection.
Here's what I want to know, gentlemen. Burt Ward, was he a real ladies' man? I'm gonna go to the article right now. I'm clicking it open.
I have a small penis. How do I enlarge it? Try enhancement pills for small penis.
Here's
MDMA
right here.
and ecstasy.
Doc warns
they
men
gave
with
him
mental
MDMA and
short
ecstasy?
penis syndrome.
No, they're saying those are two pills. They're saying there has been no research done on the pills that'll make your dick shrink, but they're saying two drugs that have been known to make your dick shrink is MDMA and ecstasy.
Here's the weirdest thing. Burt Ward.
I thought it was going to be Rosie O'Donnell and
Burt Ward is talking about how popular he was, but he never smoked or drank or did anything bad. Here's what I want to know, gentlemen. I'm going to ask you right now. Did Burt Ward get tail?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh
Yes. Yeah.
especially when word is out that he had to take dick shrinking pills because he's so fucking he's got
It's
such it probably before it started he walked out,
Holy
he
hung
probably-
as a horse, Batman.
Yeah,
It's the sexual revolution,
he looked
man.
like
Everyone's
Bowie
getting
did
tail,
with the
especially that.
fucking with the cock piece and Labyrinth.
Bounce, magic, bounce. Am I right?
So far, I have not found the small dick pills.
I think he's lying.
I think it's embellishment. I think it's a little bit of embellishment. But Burt Ward, I love you, Batman 66 is near and dear to my heart. Gentlemen, how many of you grew up in the 80s where this was in replay and this was part of your life?
Yep. Me and my brother watched it every night on fucking.
Hold on, guys. Maybe realize I gotta take my medication. Nothing, just your regular head pills, like for a headache.
I remember being a young man in my grandparents' basement watching reruns of Batman 66.
So his direct quotes, he's got two fantastic direct quotes in here. They say, they thought that Robin had a very large bulge for television. With Adams, they put a Turkish towel in his undershorts. So they made him bigger.
What's a Turkish towel? What's a Turkish towel?
And then
It's like a little bath towel for like Turkish baths.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
Turkish towel.
And then it says, I took penis shrinking pills for 3 days, and then I decided that they could probably keep me from having kids. I stopped doing that, and I just used my cape to cover it. Didn't his cape only come like waist high to his back? How is he using his cape to cover his bulge?
It was definitely above waist. Robin's cape was definitely above waist. A Turkish towel, according to Bed Bath Beyond, is just a regular towel. It says Turkish model cotton bath towel. I don't see anything specific about it. It doesn't say anything about covering bulges.
It's soft, so it's softer on your junk when you have to stick it in there.
So in those long days of shooting, you don't chafe from it rubbing. Like if you run and you don't cover your nipples, same thing.
Look, that's no joke. Nipple bleeding is real, gentlemen.
I seen it on The Office.
It's called Pinky Blinders.
And we've come full circle.
There you go. We had comic book topic. Are you happy now?
There we go. Guys, I still can't see the live comments. What's going on?
You got to go to Josh. You got to go to the YouTube site. I got yelled at last week.
I'm not going to log into something separate, gentlemen. Tell me what's going on.
Then you're not going to see the comment. I'm not watching the comments either because you know what?
Turkish towel. If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah. Tim says, I'm going to go ahead and say that if you Google small penis pills, that there won't be much that comes up. But
just my face.
That's actually not bad. That is pretty good.
All right. So I'm looking at the notes for the show, gentlemen. And I want to talk about green.
We have notes?
Yeah.
I got sent notes.
Josh is a real teacher. He needs to stick to the lesson plan. You got to stick to the lesson plan. Don't deviate. We're getting observed.
One of them was about an HBO Green Lantern show. Here's the question.
They all have to take small penis pills.
Question one.
Every one of them.
Is there an HBO thing I don't know about? Tell me about this HBO thing I don't know about.
So
this should have been the meat and potatoes.
Yeah. So HBO is coming out with its own streaming service because we don't have enough of those already.
But I have it. It's HBO Go. I have it.
Yeah, it's different. It's HBO Max.
How much extra do I have to pay for it?
$26.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
I'm just joking. I don't know.
If you're supposedly
you have to not like Tom Hardy.
If you're an AT&T customer, you'll get it for free, but everyone else is going to have to pay for it.
Gentlemen, here's what I want to know. I'm going to ask you a question. Give me your Green Lantern that is on this HBO show. Tell me your Green Lantern. I want to know. Kyle, what's your Green Lantern?
Kyle.
Your Green Lantern is Kyle.
Is it?
I like a Guy Gardner. You gotta be a Guy Gardner.
If it's not Guy Gardner, you can go to hell.
It's obvious. It's going to be Jon Stewart.
Jonathan
and Hal.
Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah. Jon Stewart and Hal against.
Brian, I hate you. I hate you.
Listen, you're going to hate me even more because Green Lantern is my favorite character, and Hal Jordan is my favorite Green Lantern. So
I'm not Travis. Travis hates Green Lantern. I love Green Lantern, but I want it to be Guy Gardner. Give me Guy Gardner.
He's not good enough to be a solo character.
Are you kidding me? Guy Gardner is snarky.
Do you remember Warrior?
He deserves an HBO show.
Do you remember Warrior?
Superboy guest star. Guy Gardner and Superboy. 90s Superboy. Leather jacket.
Okay,
Earrings.
Travis did it right now. I'm too close to the microphone. But if you give me an HBO show that includes Guy Gardner and Superboy, I will.
Perfect timing.
He said, I will swallow a bottle of dick shrinking pills, is what he said.
As I think about Tom Hardy.
And I like that he still hasn't picked up that he's muted, so he's just going on in the background. He's just going on his rant in the background.
All right, so I'm curious, Brian. So for Green Lantern, what is it? What is it that
his mic?
What is it about the character himself that you're so drawn to? The Green Lantern character. Yeah.
Jeff Johns' run. Period.
Yeah.
Jeff Johns' story about Rebirth. Jeff Johns' Rebirth story is probably 1 or 2 for my all-time favorite comic storyline.
Who is Hal Jordan to you? What kind of man is he?
Hal Jordan is basically
what is he against?
He's the same thing that everybody else is. He's every other comic book guy that he's.
And that's my problem, yeah, because he's. Yeah, I feel like he's in everybody.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I agree.
So Travis and I.
That's why Rebirth was so good, because Rebirth changed that. Rebirth made him the vulnerable guy, the guy that the same guy that destroyed his fucking hometown. You know what I mean? The same guy. Yeah, it was Parallax that helped him do it, but there was a reason. So it shows his problem. So did you not read that whole the Blackest Night run and the Rebirth run?
We read a couple of them, yeah.
Travis and I have been trying to find a Green Lantern to run, a Green Lantern run, a Green Lantern run to read for the show. We haven't found one yet.
You have to start with Rebirth and then just do the whole Jeff Johns run up through Blackest Night.
I've heard Jeff Johns is great. I read a little bit of Grant Morrison's new run, which I really enjoyed.
Great, yep.
Because you know what? Give me Green Lantern as Space Cop, and I'm in.
So you need to start with some of the like Alan Moore, the Alan Moore story that he did in, I think it was the first Green Lantern Corps issue or Tales of the Green Lantern Corps.
All right.
Where he talks about Abin Sur and stuff like that. And just to get a background and then go straight and then just do a quick deep dive into when Hal went crazy, right?
Yeah.
Just do a quick Wikipedia and then just start with Rebirth. Rebirth is so good the way that Jeff Johns wrote it. You could tell Jeff Johns was a huge Green Lantern fan that took something that really terrible happened in his life, used that for him to endear himself to Green Lantern and that type of character and write an amazing story. If you don't know, read it. That whole storyline that he did in Green Lantern from beginning to end, from Rebirth all the way to the end of Blackest Night, was kind of like his way of being cathartic and writing and getting over his sister's death.
You're saying Rebirth, but do you mean because like Blackest Night is before Rebirth? Do you mean
no? It's called Green Lantern Rebirth.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like DC Rebirth.
Yeah, Green Lantern Rebirth is a storyline where Hal Jordan comes back from basically being dead. Because what happened to Hal Jordan is he went crazy, right? He let Parallax get into him. He went crazy. He just destroyed not Star City. What's the city? His city again? Green Lantern City. It's Star City. I think it is Star City.
Cincinnati.
City. No, Star City is Green Arrow, I think.
Yeah, Star City's Green Arrow.
Well, anyways, he destroyed
Central City. No, that's Flash.
He
destroyed his home city. He wiped it off the map and went crazy. And then he got killed. Right? They killed Parallax, and his penance was to become Spectre. Right? So that's another great. Once you fall in love with Hal Jordan as a character, read his Spectre storyline where he's the Spectre, and that's a real big part of it. But then once they kill him off and he's no longer the Spectre, he was gone forever. So all the Green Lantern fans, they didn't have Hal Jordan for the longest time. And then when Jeff Johns brought him back, and he wrote the perfect story to bring him back, it was the perfect story. It was kind of like, I put Rebirth up there with Kingdom Come. I put Rebirth up there with The Dark Knight. I put Rebirth up there with Watchmen for me. So it was the perfect story. It hit all the feels. It was great writing. It was dark. It was the whole Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil buddy cop thing with the Green Arrow being the only cool Green Arrow, and that's fucking Ollie North with the beard and in the fucking cheesy outfit.
Yeah.
So it's a really good story, a really good story. So I hope that's where they're going. And if they do, they have so much story that they can put up, so many seasons that they can do. And Sinestro is going to be a big part of it. So now that we know Sinestro is going to be a big part of it, they have to do the whole Green Lantern Wars. They have to do it.
Yeah. I think here's my take on
Coast City. Thank you, Tim.
Coast City. There you go. Here's my take on Green Lantern. It's weird that there's 5 different Green Lanterns for the world, for the Earth, right?
Yeah, but there's not really.
Right. I read a couple issues of the new run by Grant Morrison, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed Grant Morrison sort of like Hal Jordan as Space Cop, right? Because like
it was
Green Lantern
hard to follow in the beginning, though.
It was
like way out, like the first 3 issues were like all over the place.
Right. I think one of the things about Green Lantern is that it's so you either have to really ground the character or you literally go like, here's the weirdest shit I can do with the Green Lantern. And I'm in either way. Anything in the middle is weird. You're either going to go as batshit crazy with Green Lantern and I'm on board, or you have to like really ground him. I think Grant Morrison was like, let's just fucking go weird.
And that's why I love Grant Morrison.
It was weird. It was hard to follow.
But like hard to follow, but fun.
Yeah.
Well, it was just
all right,
like,
guys,
it just seemed like it was all over the place. That's all. Like, I was just like, I was having a hard time.
Right.
I'll be back.
Yeah, later, Brian. Weird. Like when I the first 3 issues, that's why I was just like, like the end of the first issue, I was like, fuck, this is cool. But
right, for sure.
I don't have 100% grasp of what's going on.
Right. I had like literally reading that first volume. I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm on board. I'm on board for Grant Morrison telling me like a weird out there story with Green Lantern as Space Cop. That's what I want. I want Green Lantern solving space stories. That's what I want.
Green Lantern Space Detective.
Right. No, I like Matt, you joke, but that's what I want. I want Green Lantern Space Detective. I would really love it to be Hal Jordan Space Detective, not Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan's too like bread and butter. I want
Guy Gardner.
I want Guy Gardner Space Detective.
Where did that voice come from? Oh, there he is.
There he is, out of nowhere. I want Guy Gardner Space Detective, upset about everything. Write that comic book, Travis.
Now that Brian's gone, we could talk. Guy Gardner is the best Green Lantern, right?
He
We're
is.
talking about this. Yeah.
Guy Gardner is the best Green Lantern.
Wow, wait for the man to leave.
Right?
Don't tell him he and I are friends.
Yeah. Don't want to ruin our friendship.
But here's the thing about Guy Gardner. He's such an asshole that if he's not your favorite Green Lantern, I don't know that I appreciate you.
I just don't like you as a person.
Look, your Green Lantern, he needs to be an asshole. He just does.
Well, he needs to have something about him that makes him different than the everyman, I guess the everyman superhero does have its place.
Yeah. That's Superman.
Superman. Yeah. So Superman and Green Lantern, like, what's the difference? And you need Guy Gardner brings at least this kind of douchiness to it.
Plus, he has a sweet bowl cut. Am I right, Matt?
Yeah.
Matt, tell me how sweet that bowl cut is.
I'm not a Guy Gardner fan. I'm Jonathan Stewart all the way.
Okay, I can deal with Jonathan Stewart. I will run with you on that. Better than Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan is milk toast. The milk toast Green Lantern is Hal Jordan.
I had a dream that one day all lanterns would be John Stewart.
Yes, that's perfect. I love you. On this weekend, that's perfect.
Best. I just got to give it to him. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Best.
Lantern.
Lantern.
Here's what I want to know. As I was looking at the show notes,
We have show notes.
You do. I got them sent to me. Here's what I want to know.
Don't pull back the curtain, Josh. They might not do that on this podcast. You're pulling that curtain so you don't know.
Who cares about a Hawkeye TV show on Disney Plus?
Amen.
Oh,
If I did see the show notes, but I thought the same exact.
I'm gonna
thing.
go ahead and back this up right here. Beep beep beep. Show notes. Who does that?
So
right?
I was.
Who gives a shit about a Hawkeye TV?
I will
do.
say this. I will say this too, Josh. But they were hinting at a fraction. They were hitting at a fraction Hawkeye, and you love a fraction Hawkeye.
I do, but Travis, shut up. Matt, tell me, why do you care? Matt, why do you care about a Hawkeye TV show?
Kate Bishop. I mean, the Matt Fraction storyline. Hawkeye. Even his new series got right now, Hawkeye Freefall. There's a lot of good stuff with Hawkeye that you could tell.
No. But do you want Jeremy Renner on a TV show?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
No, 1 second.
Because he's not afraid to defend and attack his wife.
1 second. Really?
I think you guys found a new Corbin.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so one, don't beat your wife and expect to get a Disney Plus show. Just one.
Don't beat
Why
your
not?
wife.
You already got like 4 movies out of it.
Oh, getting political
One,
here.
Don't beat your wife for any reason.
One,
That's true.
don't beat your wife. Two, don't expect to get a Disney TV show out of it.
No, you'll just get a $1 billion movie. Franchise.
Here's the problem. Jeremy Renner, worst.
Jeremy Renner does not make $1 billion a movie.
Who, Josh,
No,
who would
I
you
said
cast?
you only get
Who's a better
$1
Hawkeye?
billion movie franchise out of it.
Matt, here's what I want to know. Who do you cast? Jeremy Renner is a terrible Hawkeye. Am I right?
I like him as Hawkeye.
Shut up.
Who would do better? Who would do
him
better?
as Hawkeye.
Shut your
Who would be
face.
better? Who's
Yeah.
better? I want to hear your
I like
casting.
a
Who would be better?
man.
I like a Charlie Hunnam.
Who's Charlie Hunnam?
Oh, he's a terrible
Sons of
actor.
Anarchy. I like a
The guy
Charlie
is a
Hunnam.
terrible actor.
Here's
I dig
my
him.
Hawkeye.
Sons of Anarchy.
Here's my Hawkeye. You ready? No, dude, you're right. The dude from the movie with the monsters.
Yeah.
That's only like a
Pacific Rim.
handful of
Pacific
movies.
Rim. Pacific Rim.
Rim. Give me Pacific
Charlie
Rim
Day.
or give me Death.
Charlie Hunnam. Not Charlie Day. Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Day? Give me Charlie Day as Hawkeye. I'm in.
Wild card,
Day man.
bitches.
Day man. But here's my problem. I love Matt Fraction's Hawkeye. We did it on our show, Comic Exposure. Fantastic. Jeremy Renner.
Plug.
Shameless plug. Jeremy Renner is no Matt Fraction Hawkeye. He's not.
No.
He's an ugly short man
That beats his wife.
who beats his wife. He's an 1, ugly, 2, short, 3, beats his wife. Find someone else.
Find someone taller and that doesn't beat their wife.
With a gentle hand, like Curly
Who's
from
gonna be
Mice and
better?
Men.
Who's better?
Right now I don't know. You're asking me a question that I don't have an answer
You
to.
got to come prepared. If you're going to throw out accusations and be like, "Oh, Jeremy Renner sucks as Hawkeye," you got to be prepared to defend your statement and tell
Matt,
me who's going to be better.
I'm not.
Someone
denying
for Fraction's run, it has to have some debonairness, like a Bond,
Right.
but goofiness, because Fraction's run is like it's Bond, but he's not quite as
I think Jeremy Renner could do it.
panache as it.
I think
Here's
he's got the chops.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to say. Who's Ant-Man? What's his name?
Next thing you're getting Paul Rudd. Next
Paul
thing you're telling me
Rudd.
Vince Vaughn should be Hawkeye.
No. All right, Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd. If Paul Rudd were blonde, he could be Hawkeye, but he's not, so he can't be. He has to be Ant-Man. But
I like how through the show his eyes are getting progressively squintier. He's getting closer and closer to the camera. Yeah.
All right, so if we cast Paul Walker,
Paul Walker.
as-
We're gonna cast Paul Walker.
That might be a little hard.
Yeah, a little bit.
Might be a little burnt.
who's my Hawkeye? That's a good question.
No, Tim. Stephen Amell does not need to play Hawkeye. Let's get
Oh my
I'm
God.
not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
No.
I
Matt,
can
I'm not mad
I
at
can
that
kind
at
of
all.
see that. As
Matt,
long as
he
they
is-
don't
he does-
going
I just
back to
watched
an
8
island, it's
seasons
good.
of that. It's called Arrow. I
No.
don't need to see it again.
Matt, you shut your mouth.
No, Tim's onto something.
Stephen
Oh.
Amell as Hawkeye. My nipples are hard. That's all I'm going to say right now. That's it. Yes.
Jesus.
That's it. Right? Ready? Ooh.
You guys can come on the Comic Exposure podcast and get this every week, gentlemen.
Every other week, Travis and I talk just like this. I don't know. Lots of nipple
rubbing.
I look. Here's the thing. Jeremy Renner is an ugly man who's not
short. He beats his wife. We get. Yeah, we understand the three. Your three-pronged thesis is Jeremy Renner should not be Hawkeye because thesis statement number 1, he is short. Thesis statement number 2, he is ugly. And thesis statement number 3, he beats his wife.
I like how the running theme between all the superhero podcast or not podcasts, but all the superhero casting is their looks. Scarlett Johansson can't be Black Widow anymore because she's beat.
No,
Jeremy Renner can't be Hawkeye because he's ugly.
I deny that. She can be Black Widow forever.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You were Charlotte, Scarlett, whatever.
Yeah, Charlotte Theron.
Charlotte Johansson.
Charlize
Paltrow
Scarlett
vagina smell.
Yeah. Buy that candle.
I bought 3. My house smells fucking great.
Here's the thing. Scarlett Johansson can still be Black Widow as long as she wants.
Oh,
I don't know.
I agree with you.
I don't know who could do a look. Here's the thing. I don't need a Hawkeye show.
Yeah, fuck.
What? Here's my question, gentlemen. What Marvel we've got? We're gonna get Scarlet Witch. What Marvel show do you want on Disney Plus?
Hawkeye.
Shut up, not Hawkeye. Give me something else, Matt. Besides Hawkeye, what Disney Plus show do you want?
That's a tough one.
Oh, I fucking muted you, Matt.
What?
It don't matter.
Kyle, what do you want?
What do I want to see on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
For Marvel? I wouldn't mind seeing a Deadpool show.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Not in a super. We'll keep it corny, but without everything. But
fuck, Tim. Paul Walker can't be Hawkeye because he's burnt.
I said that, Tim.
I didn't hear you say it, Kyle. I'll give the joke to Kyle.
Resurrect Paul Walker.
I want to see a Hawkeye show just because it gets us closer to Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop.
They just make a Kate Bishop show.
Agreed. High five.
You can't have Kate Bishop without Clint Barton, though.
You're right.
They can fuck up all kinds of shit, all kinds of different ways. We can do whatever. They can do whatever they want.
They are Disney. They own reality.
They can do whatever the fuck they want.
So here's what I want to know. Kyle, what was your Disney show? What was it again?
Deadpool.
All right, Matt, what's your Disney Plus show? What do you want?
I'm going to say X-Men. I think that would be a good place to start the X-Men.
I agree with you.
Disney Plus as a show?
Small scale X-Men. Travis, what's your Disney Plus show?
I'd like to see Howard the Duck, but not on Disney Plus because I'd like to see it done like Dark and things like that. I think they're working on something Howard
It's being done by Kevin Smith.
Is it cartoon?
Yeah.
Are you lying to me?
No, I'm 100% honest.
Yeah, I know he's writing Howard, but I didn't know if it was one episode like in the multiverse or whatever.
It's an entire show.
What about a Fantastic Four Disney Plus show?
No, Fantastic Four needs to be MCU. Shut your mouth. Fantastic Four MCU, make it happen. How
about G.I. Joe? Is Marvel was the last person to own G.I. Joe, right?
No, they're owned by G.I. Joe's owned by Hasbro.
Dynamite or some shit like that.
Yeah. Hey, Dynamite has all the toys.
Okay,
right?
so
and then that's owned by Death Row Records.
Death Row is the label that pays me, if I remember it correctly.
Let me check your paycheck stub.
Yeah. So,
God damn it, Death Row. You're pulling out too much.
Here's my Disney Plus show. You ready? Are you ready?
Hawkeye.
Right.
It's not Hawkeye. If a Disney Plus show has got to be sort of like low level.
It's Ronin. It's a Ronin show.
Matt, you're right.
Is Ronin.
I would take it. I would take Jeremy Renner Ronin over Jeremy Renner Hawkeye.
Because as Ronin, it's okay
because his face is covered.
Right. It makes no sense. I will freely admit it makes no sense. It makes.
I want a strong guy from X Factor show. I don't want the rest of the X Factor. I just want someone in the strong guy.
I want
just try and eat ice cream. Trying to take a shit, but he's too big.
Moon Knight me or nothing.
No.
Moon Knight
Boo.
or nothing.
Boo.
You're already getting
Boo.
that though.
Boo.
Am I?
Yeah.
It's not. It isn't live yet.
Well, no, but they've already announced it.
But announcement ain't real, buddy.
Okay.
Who's a good Moon Knight? Who's a good Moon Knight?
Who's
Shia
it?
LaBeouf.
Oh. Boo.
No.
The boof.
I'm just going full couch crunchers there. They want
I
Shia
give,
LaBeouf
I
for
give that
everything.
-3
Couch
throw
cushions.
pillows.
Who would be a good Moon Knight? Who would be good Moon Knight?
Keanu Reeves.
No.
Oh.
Dude, I think
Keanu
Keanu
Re-
would kill it.
Keanu should have been. Keanu Reeves should have been Doctor Strange. He should have been Doctor Strange.
He got to be Constantine. That's kind of
Shut
already-
your mouth. I want
If we all
to.
shut our mouths, Josh, we got no podcast.
I want to rewrite history, and I want to make Keanu Reeves Doctor Strange. You know, it would have been perfect.
I think Cumberbatch looks perfect.
Cumberbatch is
Cumberbatch.
too English.
No, I think
Too
Yeah, how about Mike?
English.
How about Michael Shannon as Moon Knight?
Which one's Michael Shannon? Oh, yes, Travis.
It's a little older. He's a little too old. It might be too old.
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
I think
no.
Moon Knight should go young and like with an unknown actor.
Who's an unknown?
I can't tell if you're being fucking sarcastic or if you're being.
Oh, it's
serious.
100% sarcastic.
Okay.
Anytime I say no name or unknown actor, it's 100% sarcasm.
I'm lost, but I want him. I want Moon Knight.
We
I
have
want
this
Moon
argument
Knight
all the
to
time that Marvel is doing better in films because they cast no name or unknown actors versus the huge Hollywood names that DC goes with.
They used to,
Mhm.
but I don't think they do anymore.
Because Marvel made them all famous.
Right. Well, that's part of the problem. Like at a new there's been no new Marvel property. So what's the newest one? Eternals. What's the newest one that's coming out?
Eternals.
Eternals. All of those are pretty big actors for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love a Marvel movie with a nobody, but I don't know. It's the same thing with Star Wars. Star Wars and Marvel, you got to go. No one like this is not a well-known actor, but I don't know what role to put them in. Moon Knight's a good choice, though, guys. Who do you make your Moon Knight?
I think they should go young.
Christian Bale.
No.
Yes, young Christian Bale.
Let him play a
He's such a
Marvel.
youngster.
Let him play a Marvel Batman.
Newsies Christian Bale as I want Newsies level Christian Bale as Moon Knight.
Get your moons here. Moons. High five soft. Moons, sir.
I'm
What's
saying-
your so here's my question, guys. Out of all the Marvel characters, there's one of them who hasn't been given a movie yet. Who do you want to see? A Disney Plus or a movie? Who do you want?
You gotta go. I mean, there's a bunch of mutants who haven't had a shot at something.
I would love
They had that-
I would love an X-Men movie in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar Isaac.
Oh,
As Gambit.
No, it's Moon Knight.
I think you're right. Oscar Isaac is Moon Knight.
Who the fuck is that?
He's Poe from Star Wars.
Oh, Dameron, brother.
Oh, fuck that guy. He's
Oh.
a terrible actor.
I hate you.
That's
He's
okay.
a terrible actor.
Oscar
He's not
Isaac,
convincing enough.
he's not tall enough.
Who's the redhead guy in Star Wars who played like the Emperor ship? He had the red hair. He was the spy in the last one.
Oh, he's in.
The actor.
Shit. What's his name?
Some
Hux.
British. Hux, yeah.
What do you want him
He's
to
got
be?
he's got some acting chops. I think he's got some range. Yeah.
Do you want him to be Moon Knight?
I don't want anyone to be Moon Knight. I don't like Moon Knight.
You're right. You're right. You don't like Moon Knight. What if Moon Knight was a regular character, not an insane person? Would you like it then?
I love him. I love him so much. I'd make him my best friend, and we'd have like pizza parties and slumber parties together.
Here's a problem.
Karate in the basement.
Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman, but he's insane. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people. Does anyone really know? We read was Lemire's run on Moon Knight, right?
It was Lemire, and then the really good artist who does it's like weird shit. What's
There's all this fervor for Moon Knight, but was anyone reading Moon Knight? Do people know? People like his design. He's got a cool design. People know
weren't
him as
reading-
the Batman.
They weren't
of
reading
Marvel.
Moon Knight. They weren't
Does
reading
anyone
Moon Knight.
know
They were
anything about Moon
looking-
Knight?
They were looking
Yeah.
at Moon Knight. What's his name? Who was the guy who was doing it? It was very. It would look like it was very like charcoal drawing. Matt, Kyle, help me out.
I don't know. I never read Moon Knight.
You bastards.
He left.
The show.
Here's what I want to know. Yeah.
What about what is it? Sam Winchester from Supernatural? What actor plays him?
I never
Oh.
watched Supernatural.
He should play everything.
Jensen. They want him to play Batman.
Jared?
Or Jared. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's not. It's the other brother, the one that I keep saying they want him to play Batman, not the long-haired one, the short-haired one.
Oh, you're talking about Dean,
Yes, then Dean.
the guy who played Dean Winchester.
Yes. For Moon Knight.
They wanted him to. They didn't want him to play Batman. They wanted him to play.
No, they were talking about having him play Batman.
Jason
in
Todd.
CW. Oh, now you want to come back? You want to go
Oh,
back?
look, I accidentally closed myself.
You're fitting
out of
over.
it. I don't know what happened, but I'm back. So just appreciate that I'm here.
You're done throwing your fit now?
I am. Yes.
Jensen Ackles.
Yes.
Who? Say it again.
From
Jensen
Supernatural.
Ackles from Supernatural.
Which one's that one? The long
Dean
with
Winchester.
The longer hair or the shorter hair?
Shorter hair.
Yeah, no, he's in.
He's Moon Knight.
They should get Seal to play Moon
Did we
Knight.
solve the riddle?
I don't. I'm in. I just want a Moon Knight show. I just want one.
Moon
Not a movie.
Knight, it had to be Moon
So
Knight.
you want to go
I think
unknown?
that's
Well,
that one is.
maybe he's not unknown, but a lesser known actor. What about Justin?
Not movie, TV.
Well, what about Justin Bartha from The Hangover?
Which one's that one?
He's the one that got
He's the
locked on the
one-
roof.
Fuck that guy.
Now I have to look up. I don't know who this guy is without seeing a
Yeah,
picture of him. What's his
He
name?
wasn't in the movie. He was on. He was in the exposition.
Justin Bartha, Bartha.
I'm looking it up. I can't type.
The guy who was on the roof the entire movie.
Yep.
Guys, it's been a while. I don't know what to tell you. Justin what?
Bartha.
You're saying words that don't
Just
make
type in.
sense.
Just type in a hangover in IMDb.
THA.
I found it.
He should play
Okay,
Moon Knight.
no. What show is he? He's in another show. What's the other TV show he's in?
I have no idea.
That guy's not in anything.
You bastards. He
was
something.
in a TV show. But I don't remember what it was.
All right. Career. I'm on Wikipedia.
Hey,
You have children.
be
You have
careful,
children
there's someone
behind you.
it's my son, and it's way too late for him to be up. What is he? He's in something. Not The Hangover. Not White Girl. What's the TV show he's in? I'm on the internet right now, and it's
You
not
gotta
helping
click.
me at all.
You're under
Retracted
movies. You gotta
that
click under his
message.
TV shows.
What the hell TV show is he in? He's from something.
He was in the last National Treasure. I know that.
Yes, that's where I know him
Yes,
from.
that's what it
National
was.
Treasure. Look, guys, National Treasure is a national
A
treasure.
national treasure.
Wasn't he in all of them?
He was in both
Yeah, he
National
was in both
Treasures.
of them.
Yeah.
Moon Knight? Moon Knight?
No, he can't play Moon Knight.
Make a Moon Knight. I'm in. Do it. Matt, make it
Fucking
happen.
Do it.
Talk to your people.
I'll talk to I'll have my people call your people. We'll get right on that.
I'll talk to Bale, and then he'll put the word out.
Yeah,
Look, you put
he
Christian
can't
Bale
do
in
it, dude,
anything.
Kyle. He
and
can't
I'm
do
in.
it. Christian Bale
No.
can't do it.
I'm just telling Christian to put it
He's a
out
busy
there.
guy because he's fucking busy.
He can't do it. He's too busy. He's a busy guy.
He'll
You're
do
right.
it for me. He'll put the word out to get him into the show. Not Christian, but that's my into the movie world.
Yeah,
You're right.
OCB. That's what you call him because you guys are close.
I like your call of someone not known enough.
Just do. What they need to do is do what, like, I don't know if anyone's a fan of the Avatar: The Last Airbender series, but Netflix is doing a live action show of that, and they're putting out a worldwide casting call to cast
I'll do
no
it.
name people in their
I'm
their
in.
show. So
I'll do it.
just put out
Make-
a huge casting call from Moon
Make
Knight.
me the old fire guy. That's what I want.
Which
the old
one?
fire, the oldest one, like
You
the
wanna be
guy who's
Iroh?
the
uncle?
guy who's the Uncle Iroh. That's who I am. Look at
Yeah,
this
he likes
beard.
to
It's
drink
white.
tea. There you
It's
go.
white enough. That's me.
Mhm.
I don't want to be the guy with the burnt face. I don't want that. Make me the uncle.
I don't know. I think I feel like you could play like Ed Helms' like older brother in something.
I think
older brother.
Yeah.
Here's what I know.
Older than him.
Matt, can I be Appa? Can you cast me as Appa?
Sure.
From,
CGI is a beautiful thing.
Right. I just want to do the voice. It's not going to be a real voice, but I just want to make weird noises.
Give us your Bane voice again. That was a good one.
You ready? Are you ready?
Yep.
Yep.
You merely adopted the dark.
There's not enough muscle.
You merely adopted
There it is.
the dark. I was born in it.
There's not enough muscle.
Now we're gonna savor some bottles.
We're gonna savor some bottles.
I've actually learned how to saber off fucking bottles of champagne, so I plan on bringing out the saber.
There you go. Identical. It's like he just joined the show. It's like Brandon just came on. Identical.
I am Tom Hardy. I am.
Identical. So good. So
good.
Since you guys do comic book exposure and you guys take graphic novels and go through them, what is your thoughts on Walking Dead being named the graphic novel or comic book of the last decade?
I think when you look at what it did for the comic book industry, nothing has done anything. But I think it's deserving. I think it's deserving of any title that pushes the medium past its boundaries as far as its acceptance and as far as its love in regular culture. I think that is. It's not my favorite comic book. Certainly, it's not even probably in my top 10, top 20.
So
here's what I'm reading compendium number 4 right now. Right? Like I stopped when Negan showed up.
Oh, you stopped at the wrong time.
But here's why. I feel like the writing got really lazy with Negan. And so I didn't want to hear
some of the best Walking Dead quotes came from Negan.
Yeah, you're getting muted
in the
for
comic.
that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's the problem.
Time out for that one.
But Matt, here's my problem. It got a little bit like every other word has to be.
You shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
You fucking savor that mouth.
I'm reading compendium 4 right now because I want to finish it, right? Because I read them all up to Negan and then I dropped off because it just got a little too repetitive for me. But jumping back in, compendium 3.
You're really pissing us off here.
You're coming to the wrong show, buddy.
Look,
you come into our show and you talk shit about Walking Dead.
No, I will admit.
First impression.
Had I gave it a couple more issues, it would have been fine. But I got to a point where I was like, nope. But then it got much better. I enjoyed the rest of compendium 3. I'm on compendium 4 right now. I think it is probably the most changing of the comic book universe in the last decade. There's no way to deny what it has done for the comic book universe in the last 10 years.
Agreed. Yeah,
there's
pop culture.
No way around
it.
10 years.
Yeah, it's not only it doesn't only have its footprints in comics, but it's really had this huge impact on just pop culture in general.
Yeah,
the way shows deal with characters, the way they stretch things out. I mean, so many. I know Walking Dead's not a streaming show, but so many streaming shows kind of formats they take a lot from Walking Dead storytelling.
It really upped networks making their own shows.
For sure.
Like,
and
I'm not saying like NBC, ABC, I mean like these other cable networks and other. I think it really gave through to like a lot of people. Like HBO kind of broke the mold with having a show, but I think Walking Dead really put the stamp on it that it's okay for all these different things to think outside the box and do something.
Yeah,
right.
And it turned the spotlight on. I'm sure we all say something similar to this. I think some of the best writers, storytellers today work in comics. I think that is. I tell it to people all the time. People look at me like I'm crazy, but especially people who don't read comics. And I think that helped push that forward. They're like, there's some really. It's not just all like, and then you punch him. There's some really deep, great prose being written in comic books, and it was a chance for the civilians to see some of that, and I think it's great.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree with the title that they gave it? Is there anyone here that disagrees with it?
I don't think so at all. Not like you said, what it offered pop culture alone, it's deserving. But so
what's a runner-up?
I don't remember. I didn't even
look. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Matt.
No, you're fine. So, but do you believe that?
Spit it out, Matt. God damn it!
Shut up. Shut up.
Fuck.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Do you think it deserves to be in the discussion right on? Because everyone gives Iron Man 1 that credit for kicking off this whole like superhero movie renaissance. Do you think Walking Dead deserves the credit of being right there with Iron Man in the same conversation as
hell yeah,
deserving for this whole renaissance?
If it weren't for Walking Dead, you wouldn't have all those shows on CW. That wouldn't exist. It would not exist.
No, it helped make these comic type shows. It gave it that limelight that people were like, okay, even though it's a graphic novel, it's something that me, not as a comic fan, can watch. Because I've actually had this discussion with people, like my neighbors. I was talking to them, and we started talking about Walking Dead. And I said, "Oh, I've got all the comics. My walls are covered with Walking Dead toys." And they're like, we were never into comic book stuff until Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And it really showed that we can like this comic book type of stuff. And it's not just something we make fun of and a type of person that we would make fun of, but it's something that we actually like.
So you think about it, like Iron Man spurred this second wave of comic book movies, right? Like you had the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man sort of wave of stuff, the X-Men Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And then Iron Man 1 comes on and create this other thing. And I think the same thing happens on television. If it weren't for Walking Dead, you wouldn't get the CW universe. I don't think it would happen. It just wouldn't exist.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It really helped it just become mainstream.
Right. That's the thing. Like maybe someone would have dabbled in it, but without The Walking Dead being this phenomenon on AB and on AMC, you wouldn't have had everybody else jump on the bandwagon of it. They wouldn't have spent as much money. They wouldn't have gone season after season if it weren't for the success of the first couple seasons of Walking Dead. There's no
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a 1-2 punch on that too. I think as far as geek culture in general, Walking Dead and Game of Thrones coming out was for the populace was just huge for nerd culture.
So Game of Thrones does the thing for nerd fiction books, right?
Yeah, it's called boring as shit.
But The Expanse doesn't happen. The Expanse on Sci-Fi doesn't happen without Game of Thrones.
Well, I think Game of Thrones deserves the credit of the resurgence of the popularity of D&D we're seeing right now.
I would tell you that I think Stranger Things has a little involvement with that too.
But
yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you. Like, if it weren't for those two things, how many of you are interested in the new Lord of the Rings TV show? Matt, are you on board for the new Lord of the Rings?
I liked the first 3 movies, and then that was good for me. I didn't need The Hobbit to be made into a movie.
The Hobbit was bad. The Hobbit was bad.
I'm pretty much over Lord of the Rings. Like the Fellowship, Return of the King, and the Two Towers is enough for me. I don't need all this extras here.
But
I don't need a Game of Thrones prequel series.
You're right. I don't need that. I don't need Game of Thrones prequel. You're right. You're right on that for sure.
I just think that, I think the way Game of Thrones ended left a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and you're not gonna have the record-setting audience turning in for this that you're hoping for.
Oh, you're not I think Game of Thrones hit this pinnacle of what it's gonna be, and you can't recreate it. You can create something that kind of that taps into it, but you're never going to do the same thing again.
So to answer your question, Travis, here's the top 10 best-selling comics of the 2010s. So at 10, it's Dark Knight Returns. 9 is Walking Dead trade paperback volume 3. 8 is Saga trade paperback. 7 is Civil War. 6 is Watchmen. 5 is Saga volume 2. 4 is Walking Dead volume 2. 3 is Batman: The Killing Joke. 2 is Saga Volume 1, and number 1 was Walking Dead number 1.
See, if I had to take, I think that Saga stuff is right on par, because as much as I think Walking Dead deserves that spot, as far as what captures my heart is that Saga series was the last decade was so great.
But I'm going to tell you, if it weren't for Walking Dead, there wouldn't be Saga.
No, there wouldn't be.
Image Comics wouldn't be what it is today without Walking Dead. Walking Dead did a lot to rebuild that brand and image.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Saga, but I would hate to see Saga in any other form but comic books. I don't think it works in anything else.
Kind of like
there is
something.
something about having a story that's fantastic, but you only get it if you're willing to dip your toes into the comic book realm. It's kind of like, all right, guys, if you want this great story, we're telling you it's good. There's no way you're not going to like this, but you only can get it from comics. I kind of like that idea there.
Travis, I think you're right. Like we think about we've talked so much about Why the Last Man being a quintessential, amazing series of books. I do not think it will be as successful as Walking Dead if you turn it into a TV show. I don't think it would be as successful as a movie, right?
Wasn't it already kind of successful as a movie, though?
Why the Last Man?
Yeah, wasn't that Will Smith movie based off of that book?
No, it's based off an old sci-fi novel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like Why the Last Man is one of the best comic book series in the last 20 years.
That's Brian K. Vaughan, right?
Yeah, Brian K. Vaughan, Why the Last Man. I don't think you could maybe do it as a TV show. Maybe.
FX is doing it.
And it is good. They're going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Walking Dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you can lay everything at the feet of how well Walking Dead did, but I don't think anything will ever top it.
No.
Does that make sense? Like Walking Dead was a pinnacle. Everything we do after it won't compare because Walking Dead was the first example of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I
agree.
What's the Travis, it's your favorite graphic novel.
Preacher.
It was never.
I thought that show was terrible.
But even if it was good, like I thought, I enjoyed parts of it.
I thought season 1 was bad, and I enjoyed the hell out of season 2, and then I fell off. I thought season 3 was terrible.
But the thing is, like, it wouldn't have happened without Walking Dead.
True.
But it will never be as good as Walking Dead because it's the second iteration of something.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a totally different story, it's the second version of a comic book turned TV show.
Mm.
Nothing will compare to season 1 of Walking Dead. It just won't happen. Just like whatever you do that's a fantasy series will never compare to Game of Thrones. It just won't happen.
You need a breather. There needs to be time off, like anything. There's got to be time off, and then we can tap into whatever the source is again in 10 years. And
we're gonna get this Lord of the Rings Amazon show, and it will not be as good as
I think it's almost going to be a letdown.
Oh, it for sure is, because it's not going to be Game of Thrones.
Because now it's because now there's a comparison.
That's the problem. You're exactly right.
Yeah. And that's you always has Game of Thrones, they did this and they used to do it like that. And you're right. That's going to be a big problem. But
I mean, I personally think when it's all said and done and Walking Dead is done, you're looking at, with Walking Dead number 1, you're looking at the Action Comics number 1 or Amazing Fantasy 15 of our time.
That's what it is. It's Amazing Fantasy 15. That's what Walking Dead 1 is.
Yeah.
It's 7,500 of them.
Yeah.
It's a game changer. Nothing will compete with it because it was successful as a comic. It was successful as a TV show. You just can't. And it was the first. So it was this genre changing comic book, and it was this game changer for TV shows, and everything else builds upon it. So you can't compare anything to it. Like The Boys was great on Amazon, but it's not Walking Dead.
No. No, it's not.
Like, and then remember when they re-released episode 1 in black and white,
Mm-hmm.
and you were like, "Oh, this is fucking even better." You can't do that again. You cannot make it happen again.
I
It won't
agree.
happen.
I
It
agree
won't happen.
100%.
Yeah.
Shiny and Chrome.
I just watched the black and white edition of that Mad Max movie. My God,
It's good.
It
It's
is
good in black
so
and white.
good.
It makes it better.
It makes it 10 times better. Just like, have you guys watched the black and white of episode 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is so it is 10 times better than the original.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it is so much better.
Because
I just think
everything's
it's
cooler in black and
I
white.
just think if you're a fan of the comic, it's more
Yeah.
Right.
it's
From what you're
more
used to.
What you're used to, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And it,
And
and,
then-
it harkens back to the original Night of Living Dead,
Right,
with the
right.
blood
It
where just
harkens
these
back to
black
Night of the Living Dead.
pools
Yes.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Tim. Yeah, that was what I was thinking of as Omega Man. That's what I was thinking of with the I Am Legend.
Oh, Mega Man
Oh yeah.
is
There
is
is source
a great
material?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking of with Why the Last Man. But
All right, what's next, Matt? Because we haven't hit many of our topics.
what are you talking about?
We've hit them all.
We've
We've
hit
hit
a
them
lot
all,
of them.
dude.
A lot of them. How do you? So keeping on the same subject, what do you think about Tico Waititi doing Star Wars, launching Star Wars movies? Or
Give it all to me. At this point, Star
Wait,
Wars.
wait, wait. How'd you say his name?
Tico Waititi?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Waititi.
Tico Waititi.
Are you Ace Ventura right now? This
Tiki
is like when Nature calls.
Waititis. I like the Tiki Waititis.
Here's the thing. I think we're beyond Star Wars. Now that we've closed out the Skywalker saga, you can do whatever you want with Star
Tiki
Wars.
Waititi titties can do anything.
You get now that we're done with the Skywalker saga, do whatever you want with Star Wars, and I'll pay to go see it. That's where I'm at.
As long as it's directed by who, Matt?
Tico Waititi. Taika Waititi. TT.
Do you ever see yourself in the future? Maybe not going to the theaters to see all the next Star Wars stuff that comes out, but do you ever see yourself not like at least streaming it or watching it if it comes on streaming? Or do you see a day when it comes where you're just like, I don't want to see it on the screens. I don't want to see it in my living room. I'm just done with it. Or is it one of those
I
things
pray
where
for
like,
the day I can watch brand new movies in my house
think,
without it being bootlegged. I
it's
pray
gonna
for
come-
that day.
I think it's gonna come to that, because like I think the older you get, your mindset changes. Because like me, I'm like, I'll watch any Star Wars movie as it comes to the theater. But then my dad, who's saw all of them in theaters, he's like, I already saw the original. We had this conversation the night at dinner. Like me and my brother were talking about it, and my dad was like, "What are you guys talking about?" We're like, "Oh, Star Wars." And my mom was like, "I've never seen a Star Wars, and I don't even know where to start." And my dad was like, "You start." My dad was like, "You start with the goddamn originals." And my brother's like, "Yeah, Episode 1, Phantom Menace." And my dad was like, "No, fuck you. You start with Star Wars." And I was like, "You mean A New Hope?" And he looked at me and goes, "No, fuck you, Star Wars."
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to report a domestic violence call.
Yeah,
My
and I
dad is
was
beating
like,
the shit out of my brother.
all right,
You're watching Star Wars and No Hope.
He's like, there's no A New Hope. It's Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So
I like that you called it a No Hope. That'd be way better.
New Hope. No Hope.
A No Hope.
Just like I think that Revenge of the Jedi is a better title than Return of the Jedi.
I love picking up that your news story. I think Taika Waititi is at like some peak in like this. I feel like I should be doing this with it. I think he's that Jojo Rabbit. I don't know if you guys saw Jojo Rabbit. He's just building on everything he's done. I don't think he's maxed out his creative potential yet. I love his storytelling. I love his tone. Everything is very funny, but it's also very heartfelt at the same time. He has that ability to do that. I think he is not even reached the top of his potential as a writer and director.
I give him all the credit in the world for saving Thor. He
sure.
single-handedly saved Thor.
Yeah.
And like it almost
I'm
seemed like a
not
side
gonna lie.
project for him, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it seemed ridiculous.
I'm gonna come out on a limb right now. Thor: Dark World was amazing. I don't care what anybody says. I love.
I like it. Dark World, yeah. That one's
It was
good.
good.
People sleep on it. People sleep on it.
But I think we're at this point now where like it's the same thing with Marvel movies. You can go whatever kind of story you want to tell, you can tell it with a Marvel movie. I think the same thing happens for Star Wars. Now that we've closed it out, you can give me the weird Taika Waititi Star Wars movie. I think you can do that now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm in.
Right. Well, it's almost like these Marvel books have become like Shakespearean text, where it's like you put it in someone's hand in the tone like 10 things I hate about you is, it's all based on like that.
Taming of the
Shrew, right? So it's these Marvel texts. Like, why not take Thor and put it in the hands of someone with a wacky voice or vision or horrific vision of it? And I kind of like these being treated as like the text is the text. And then let's put a weird slant on it with the director or the voice that's behind it.
Right. I'm into this idea of like, we're now going to get Star Wars movies that are a little different. Like regardless of what you think about The Last Jedi, give me a Rian Johnson version of Star Wars. Give me those 3 movies.
I think his time is done. He needs
You
to
think
go.
so?
Yeah, and no one's going to want to see it. His name is just tainted now. His name in Star Wars is tainted. Yes, taint.
Even with Knives Out.
But that's different. Like his directing has other movies isn't bad, but when you say Rian Johnson and Star Wars in the same sentence, people go, "Oh God, it's tainted." His name is tainted. He carries the scarlet letter.
It's burnt like Skywalker.
It's got the stench of Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle.
I think you're right, but at the same time, like I want them to give Star Wars to someone and have something different with it, right? Like regardless of what you think about The Last Jedi, and we could spend you could spend a whole episode talking about what that means for the Star Wars universe for sure. But I would like to explore different pieces of Star Wars with off the wall directors, and I think Taika Waititi is a really good example of like a weird director to give the reins to that too.
Tim says in the chat, "Whoa, back up, Travis. This is the wrong show to be referencing Shakespeare on." Yeah, him and Jon Favreau, I think, are the 2 people that should be controlling Star Wars right now. Like,
look, give Jon Favreau the reins, because fucking The Mandalorian, even in its shitty moments, was good.
Mm-hmm. I want Jon Favreau to start making my own life decisions. Like, I want to consult him about like, do I stick with the job? Do I quit it? Do I date this person? Do I not? Do I eat this? What do I do?
Jon Favreau controls my life.
Look, I loved Lone Wolf and Cub.
Here's our Netflix show.
There you go. Jon Favreau controls my life.
A Jon Favreau app that just has an algorithm that just decides what you're going to do in life.
Jon Favreau, I met this hot chick in a bar. Should I nail her?
It's an app that you download.
And it says take a picture, and you do, and then Jon Favreau pops up and goes, "I don't know, she looks like a burner, bro." Just makes your decisions for you.
So here's my question, gentlemen. Is Jon Favreau Kevin Feige?
Put your child to bed, Joshua Buckley. He is sitting up there.
Is Jon Favreau the new Kevin Feige of Star Wars?
The Feige? Is this Taika Waititi?
Is it Feige? What's his name? I don't know how you spell
Feige, isn't it? Feige?
Yeah.
Feige, Feige.
Fajay, I like Fajay.
I drove a Fajay once for a year. I had to get rid of it.
So how many of you guys have finished?
I took medicine and it went away.
You can't do worse than Kathleen Kennedy, so
right. I'm assuming you've all finished Mandalorian, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it was fantastic. No?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was an exceptional version of what Star Wars should be. What I think was missing from the last 3 movies is one overarching hand, right? Whether you like,
among continuity and good storytelling, and
whether you like George Lucas or not, we can argue about that forever. We were missing
His hands are getting more like
Emperor Palpatine-ish.
We were missing a hand on the last 3 movies. I think. What's your next star? What's your Obi-Wan's supposed to come out? What do you want from Obi-Wan?
I don't even really want an Obi-Wan story. Obi-Wan to me is a cash grab because
Okay, Matt. Then what's your Star Wars TV show?
Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay, I'm in. But how do you want it to be? Do you want a lot of lightsabers or not so many lightsabers?
I don't think you go with a lot of lightsabers. I think you tone that back.
I love you. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. I want just enough lightsabers.
I want to see a Padawan actually have to build his lightsaber and go get the crystal and
right.
Yes,
I want to see all of that. I don't want to see him just all of a sudden have it and in dialogue. He's like, "Oh, I built it."
I like your idea of Old Republic. I think that's a good way to go. I think you're correct. Kyle, what's your Star Wars what's your next Star Wars? If not Obi-Wan, what's your next Star Wars?
You guys are gonna hate me right now when I say what I'm about to say.
No, you say it. I will appreciate whatever it is.
The Adventures of Young Qui-Gon Jinn.
I'm not a big Star Wars guy.
That's okay.
I'm more of a Star Trek guy.
I love Star Trek. I'm in.
So
Nerd.
So I don't really have a what do I want to see next from Star Wars. I'm probably one of the few people on the planet who have I know what I want to see next from Star Wars. Like I have no idea.
Well, if Disney bought Star Trek, what do you want?
Oh fuck! I would like to see a Borg thing.
Oh, I'm on board, man.
Dude, anything with the Borg is awesome.
I would love to see a Klingon only TV show.
Ooh, that would be cool.
I'd like to see a Borg by bagels. Please just put it in the bag, sir. I'm looking back to the left, looking to the right.
And we've come full circle.
Please give me the schmear.
Jalapeno cream
You're
cheese.
giving it to the wrong Borg.
I'm the other overweight Borg.
I just don't. Does anybody really care? I know Tim does, but
Blorb.
Do you really care about what Obi-Wan did up until the start of A New Hope?
No, I don't care. I don't care about it. I don't care about it, Matt. But I feel like I feel like we're in this weird space where no one wants to play in Star Wars outside of what we know. We want to I feel like everybody
scary.
Right. I feel like everybody wants to fill in the blanks. And I think one good place to fill in the blank is we know who Obi-Wan is. So give us a story between episode 3 and episode 4 with Obi-Wan.
But
maybe you get that with Rebels or whatever the fuck the Cartoon Network show is. But I didn't watch that because I'm a grown ass man. So I don't mind an Obi-Wan story, but I'd like an Old Republic story. I think that'd be fun.
But so, I mean, what was so good about The Mandalorian is you had it. There was no
I didn't know anybody.
Right.
I
there
didn't
was
know
no
anybody.
expectations because you didn't know what was coming. It's right. It's the same thing that made
And
Guardians of the Galaxy movies so
draw
good.
it out either.
Right.
It wasn't these boring, and that's one thing I can say about Game of Thrones is they make these. You know what? I think Game of Thrones would have, because I hate Game of Thrones. I despise that show. I think they would have been 35-minute episodes. It probably would have been a better show.
Yeah, I can buy that.
And that's one thing that's kind of cool about The Mandalorian is they're like 30 minutes. Wham, bam, thank you.
But there's no expectations. You don't really know anybody. And it was a huge smash hit. Guardians of the Galaxy, no expectations. Nobody really knew what to expect. Smash hit. Obi-Wan, there's some form of expectation there.
So do we want a Jar Jar Binks prequel?
Fuck no.
Here's the thing about essentially what we did with Mandalorian is we took Lone Wolf and Cub, a fantastic manga, and made it a TV show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind an Old Republic show, but I don't want it to be a million lightsabers jerking each other off. I don't want that.
Right.
Nor do you want it to be like some sort of political Star Wars long, slow burn.
I will argue.
No slow burns.
I will argue with you that I would not mind a Star Wars, a bureaucratic Star Wars show.
I wouldn't mind if we got a Star Wars show based on the new game that came out, Jedi Fallen Order.
Is it good? I haven't played it yet.
Fantastic.
It's so close. I'm so close to buying it, but I haven't bought it yet.
The story is fantastic. That and Force Unleashed. Like, it would be cool to see a story about like a Vader Emperor or Empress or Padawan.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think we've spent a lot of time on the light side. Let's spend a little time on the dark side, right?
For sure. You've spent enough time fighting for hope. Let's see what happens when all hope is lost.
Let's burn the shit down.
I'm all for it. Burn it down.
Yes. Travis, do you want to burn things down?
I'm ready. Let's burn down. Let's burn down the house. Talking heads or whatever it was.
Kyle, are you in to burn it down?
Burn it down.
All right, so we're all in. Let's burn it down, gentlemen.
Burn that shit down.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I think you're right. I think you've got to come original with it to keep it.
You've got to come original. You've got to come original. And now it's full circle again.
That was actually off mic, I think, gentlemen.
You gotta. I mean, it's how you gotta come at it. You gotta come correct at it. And
if you're listening to the show right now and you've been listening this long, here's what I want you to do. I want you to open up your Spotify app right now, and I want you to open up 311, and I want you to listen to Come Original. But really,
you've got to come original.
Really, what I want you to do is I want you to listen to Jack-o'-lantern's Delight, because if you're gonna listen to that 311 album, you want to listen to Jack-o'-lantern's Delight because no one listens to that album, that song, but that is quite possibly the best 311 song ever.
Heard it here, folks. Hot take.
I want to apologize for Travis and I running roughshod over your show tonight.
Hey, I will not apologize. It's more you, brother. It's more you.
I will own how much I'm telling people to listen to 311 right
It's
now.
all good. It's all good. It's interesting. It's interesting stuff. Watching you and Kyle drink at the same time.
Kyle, you ready? One more time, Kyle. You ready? Lift it up, buddy. What are you drinking, my man?
Whiskey Coke.
Matt, I'm starting to see parallels between what you deal with and what I deal with on our podcast.
It's like looking in a mirror, isn't it? It's fitting that the same personalities are on the same side of the screen. Huh?
Travis, don't lie that on our show, I am the one who keeps this shit on the rails. Do not think that you control the bumpers of the Galaxy Bowling that is our.
I know.
I gotta learn to come on shows like Josh does. You just, you gotta come on shows and just tell everyone that's always there to shut up and just run roughshod all over everything. Look. Shut up.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Listen to me.
Call everyone out. Call everyone out. Tell everyone to shut up. You're golden. That's how you guest on someone's show.
Matt, on the Facebook, I said, you should want me on this thing. I said, do you want me on? And you said, for sure, man. And here I am. This is what you get when you invite me on a show.
No. How I'm going on someone else's show is exactly how you are right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly what I'm doing.
I'm not complaining. I think it's fucking fantastic.
No, I think it's
awesome.
I think
said when you was like, how about we do a comic exposure, both of us? And I was like, fuck it, let's get crazy.
Let's do it
right here. I will tell you, how long have we been doing this? We've been doing this show for like 5 hours at this point.
Nah, we're at 2 hours. This is easy for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, Travis and I, we get close to an hour and we turn into trolls. So I don't know what's. I know
Travis likes it so much that he wanted to do it twice. That he came back.
I did twice in a row. I was really hoping to see Kyle pass out though, so that was really my.
Ooh. No, I made it a point not to drink as much as last week.
That's good. Matt, what's on your shirt? I can't read your shirt right now. What it is?
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z. That's good. I like that. I'm happy with that. Kyle, you're wearing anything particularly nerdy tonight?
He's wearing the Absolute Geek
I like
Podcast.
how
that's right.
we've transitioned to talking about our geeky clothing we're wearing
I've
tonight.
said that. I've seen that like several times tonight. Travis, what do you got on? That's very
Well, as mentioned earlier, Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. I'm sorry. At this point in the show, I am far beyond. I don't have any. I have a black sweatshirt on, guys. I'm not wearing anything nerdy.
Awesome.
Let's do that belly button, Josh. Wiggle it.
Audi, not an innie.
I've got an innie. I'm intrigued by Audis, not the cars, but the belly buttons.
I went to maybe it was around 8th grade. We went to the water park, and it was like one of those things where it's like a bunch of my guy friends and a bunch of girlfriends were going to go. So it was like girls and guys at the water park. What more could you ask for as a 14-year-old boy?
Japan or Korea?
Yes, it was in Japan. It was in Japan.
What are water parks in Japan like?
Same thing, slides of water.
Everything's
Not
just a little bit
important to the
smaller.
story. But one of the girls that was like really attractive, and all the guys had a crush on, took off her swimsuit. The most giant. Yeah, took it off. Just no. Picky blinders all day, and it was this. It was like a branch that came out of her belly button. This thing was like an extra pinky, and then and then to accentuate it, she had it pierced, so it drew attention to it. And
I'm
really
in.
kinda threw me off
I
this
am
whole thing
in.
for a long time.
You should have taken a picture so we could see it right now.
Wax
There was no
Jack
cell
says-
phones back then.
Wax Jack says it's fashion time. 3/4 of geeks wear black. That's why it's really hard to tell the fat guys apart.
That's really part of it. Travis is the only one wearing a color tonight.
Yeah.
Travis looks like he's ready to go to the bar and pick up some chicks afterwards. And
Look,
It
Travis
is
is the
2
only
p.m.
one. Travis is the only one who's going to pick up chicks. That's what's going to happen.
yeah,
No.
All it's going to be.
Do you guys like Shakespeare? Any ladies in the bar like Shakespeare? I have some quips about the bard himself.
Tim says, now I feel weird. I thought clothing was optional. Be right back.
Always optional.
Kyle and Matt, here's what I want to do. I want to take this opportunity to invite you on Comic Exposure to talk about some shitty graphic novel. You guys pick. You tell it. Here's what I want. I'm going to put this on the line right now. Travis and I have spent a lot of time trying to figure out what to read. Here's what I want to know. Matt and Kyle, what do we need to read? Come on the show and talk about it with us. What's the graphic novel that we should read?
What do you think, Kyle?
Or the run that we should
What's your
read.
choice? The run, the graphic novel. What do we need to read?
What about like volume 1 or book 1 of Invincible?
I've never read it. I'm on board. Travis, what do you think?
I've read it.
You've read it? I haven't read it.
I'll read it again. It's been like 8 years.
All right. So, Kyle, you're on Invincible Volume 1. Matt, what are we reading with you?
I think Invincible sounds good. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Let's see. What else? Kyle killed it with Invincible. I would say Outcast Volume 1.
That's a good one. We haven't. Did we do that, Travis? I don't think we did Outcast.
Nope.
I think we talked about it, but never talked about it.
I never read Outcast.
So here's what we're going to do. Kyle, you're coming on Invincible Volume 1.
Okay.
Matt, are you ready for this? Are you in your Dragon Ball t-shirt ready to talk about Outcast Volume 1?
Absolutely.
God, that's so easy.
So
Yeah.
our next Travis, are you ready for this?
Oh yeah, are we pulling the curtain back?
We're pulling the curtain back. On our next episode, we're talking Conan. But after that, here's what's going to happen. Kyle, you're coming on to talk Outcast. Matt, you're coming on to talk about.
Nope.
No.
That.
Kyle, you're coming on. Kyle, you're coming on to talk about Invincible. Matt, you're coming on to talk about Outcast. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah. I like AT Aliens.
That's a good Outcast album. I do like that. Everybody move to the back of the bus. We're talking about Outcast. All right, Travis, we don't have to do any more work.
Yeah, I feel like we made our life a lot easier.
We just did.
I'm just warning you now. I'm rolling it up into your show, and I'm going to get at least 4
I know,
shut-ups right off in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Matt,
You really.
Matt, if you
put some
didn't tell
karma
me
out
to,
there.
if you didn't tell me to shut up, I would not.
I'm
wouldn't
bringing
know
a bunch of this on your show.
Yeah.
Look at Kyle. You drink as much Crown as you want, as we talk about Are we talking about Outcast on your show?
No, sir.
No, we're talking about
Invincible.
Invincible. I think I read the first issue of Invincible.
And I'm
That's
gonna
all
send-
I've read.
We're gonna
That's
send
all I've
Kyle into your show lit like he was last weekend.
Kyle, remember when I went on
Kyle.
Couch Crunchers?
Yeah.
Kyle, all I've read is Invincible issue number 1. That's it. What do I need to know?
Kyle has a habit of going on shows though and not reading or watching the material though and pretending like he does.
That didn't even really happen. Well, it happened, but they didn't tell me they were talking about Spider-Man movie. They did not tell me. They just said, "Hey, you want to come on?" I said, "Sure." And they're like, "What'd you think of Spider-Man?" I was like, "Oh, I don't go to the movie."
They just assumed he saw it. Yeah. It was an
Yeah,
assumption.
it was their. It was, they like to make fun of me because they say I don't come on. It was once. I didn't know they were talking about it, and I don't go to the movies. And if they actually paid attention to the show, they would know I don't go to the movies.
All right, so Kyle, we're doing Invincible. Be ready.
Yeah.
Matt,
I got it in there. I'll read it. I'll reread it.
Matt, we're doing Outcast.
I'm ready.
I will read
Scangonia.
it. I've read it once already, but I will read it again because I really enjoyed it. Travis, you've never read it, have you?
No.
The first arc of Outcast is awesome.
It's very good. It's very
Is that
good.
what we're doing? We'll do first arc.
Yeah, first volume 1 Outcast, volume 1 Invincible. Are we clear? Are we? This is
We got it. Oh, we
I
got
think
it.
it's been established. Yeah. It's established. It's written in stone at this point.
Look, you can call me Moses. That's fine. It's on stone tablets. This is happening.
I'm just saying there's gonna be some shut ups as soon as we
There's gonna
roll
be
in.
some shut up.
Shut up.
Matt,
Shut up.
if
Shut
there-
up.
If there weren't shut ups, I would be upset.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
Look, I want to be booed on my own show. That's all I'm saying. Boo me all you want.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about Joker getting a bunch of stupid nominations?
I love it.
I think it's stupid.
I love it.
I didn't see. I haven't seen it.
11.
I haven't seen it yet.
Don't. Refrain.
Are you serious?
Oh, I fucking hate that movie. It's
Really?
terrible. I fucking despise it.
I appreciate you because I'm worried that I didn't see it because I'm afraid I won't like it.
I watched it at the movies and I didn't like it, and I thought it was because the guy that was rubbing my leg was the reason I didn't like it.
What?
Some guy next to me kept rubbing up against my leg, so I thought that's the reason why I didn't like it. So then I rented it and I liked it less.
Oh, that's not good. Matt, what's your take on the Joker?
I loved it. I bought it. I own it. It's a fantastic movie. If you're someone who likes more arty films and character studies, it's fantastic.
Slow burn. Don't forget slow
In fact,
burn.
someone out there now has a digital copy of that, I believe.
Yes,
right,
I
Matt?
do. I gave that away.
Who has that?
My wife and I were gonna go see it to the movies, but we didn't. So
Good for
we're
you
like,
guys.
we're this close to watching it on digital.
See, Kyle, people like digital.
I didn't say anything about digital. Just giving it away is cheesy.
We're this
I
close.
like the movie, but I'm going to give you a digital copy of it.
We're this
I'm not going
close
to give you the
to
whole movie, just the digital copy. I'm keeping the cool part of it.
Who watches physical DVDs anymore?
I
No
do.
one.
I do.
They do.
You guys suck.
I like Redbox.
Shut up.
And Redbox likes me because I forget to return them.
Shut up. Okay. But so Matt, what made it good? What made the Joker good?
I think Joaquin Phoenix did a fantastic job. I like the way that it was portrayed and
Slow burn.
Yeah, I mean, if you call this, you can call it a slow burn. It was, but I liked seeing the idea of this character that's so immortalized and has God status go from being just a simple man with issues and transforming into what we know of him today. And if you like Raging Bull, I don't see why you wouldn't like this movie. Or Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah, Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
It's
Matt. So Kyle, what was your problem with it?
It just bored the ever living shit out of me.
Okay.
It just took too long to get there, and they drug it out, and it was just slow. I wanted a little more action.
All right.
I wanted a little bit more edge of the seat, and that's not what you get with this movie. It's not an edge of the seat movie.
Yeah.
You're not going, what the fuck's going to happen next? What the fuck's going to happen next? You're more like, it's kind of just putting along. Oh,
He's in the refrigerator. Oh, look, he doesn't have his shirt on again because he lost 52 pounds. Oh, it's kind of just how he killed the guy that he didn't like. Oh, it's just.
Travis, did you watch it?
I did.
What did you think of it?
I'm kind of in between. I like Joaquin Phoenix's performance is undeniable.
He's an awesome actor. Don't get me wrong.
It's to carry the weight of that and to do it in every scene. That is my favorite part of that movie is just watching an actor.
So Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger?
Well, it's Joaquin for me. Here's my
They
problem with
both
that
did
question.
awesome.
I don't know if I can do that. Yeah.
They both acted. They're both good actors, and they both I liked Joaquin in it. Like his acting is good. The movie around it sucked.
Well, yeah, and here's my
his acting wasn't enough to make it an awesome movie.
Here's my problem with that comparison, though, is that you're getting Joaquin Phoenix as he's a man becoming the myth.
Yeah,
and you've got Heath Ledger who is the myth, and he's playing what we know as comic book fans to be the Joker, and Joaquin Phoenix was saddled with the job of trying to get you from the beginnings of just the man to what the icon becomes.
So the transformation.
Yeah, and I think you can take if you were to take Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and then tell me that Heath Ledger's was the same Joker years down the line, I think the transition there is seamless. Like, it's not going to be, I wouldn't be like, no, that's not possible. You can see it. You see a lot of the different.
Their approaches didn't seem to be that different.
Right, exactly.
So here's my question. And this is like, I haven't watched it. I want to see it. I just haven't had a chance to watch it now that it's on digital yet. But here's my question.